What's up, everybody? It's me, Johnny G. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're doing another Arknights event, and this one is the first Rainbow Six Siege collaboration, which is Operation Originium Dust. Now, this is a little interesting because we just wrapped Operation Loosen Arrowhead. That ended, and now we're here getting the rerun of the original event, the first Rainbow Six Siege crossover, which was really, really cool to see, just because, like, I didn't know anything about it, and they're not exactly tied together, the events, but the four characters from Rainbow Six Siege that appear in this one, Operation Originium Dust, did appear at the very end of Operation Loosen Arrowhead, so it was kind of cool to see that they were still in Terra. So we get to see their original story here in Terra. So I'm going to get to check that out now and play that for you guys. And I have no clue what I'm getting into, except for the fact that I guess it takes place in Sargon. So without further ado, let's just jump in and get started and see what it's all about. All right, so we're going to go back to the older way of doing this that I used to do it, just because there I had a couple of tests where I went and did all the stages first and then did the story narration after, and not that that was a bad thing, and I might do some in the future like that. It just kind of depends on time, and right now I want to get all of this done kind of in succession, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to read as I go, so let's go ahead and get started here. Task record. ODST. Oh, this is Halo. Some of you may get that reference. My kid would, definitely. My oldest. Here we go. ODST1. Oh, that's the background they used for the furnace in the Jessica Alter event. Excuse me. All right. Ash is the first one to appear on screen. Let's see what she has to say. We've arrived at Magnet Hill number 2. Repeat, we've arrived at Magnet Hill number 2. And just like with the other one, I'm not going to try and do their accents and voices. I will try just to do regular voices for them. Iana, Ella, report the situation on your end. Over. Business as usual. Just putting in the finishing touches. Over. Excuse me. Ella? Iana, enemy incoming. In position. Gemini replicator activated. Mine's deployed. If the intel we got is correct, this should be the last batch. We'll head towards you after we clean up over here. Go no. Ella, ending communication. So that's the situation. Just sit back and leave it to the polls. I already hear the sound of Grismont mines going off. They'll be just fine. And you, Blitz, you're supposed to be doing your job, namely standing guard. Whatever you say, ma'am. Pay attention to the meter's readout. The intel shows that there's nuclear waste sealed inside the building. Frost, how far until our objective? After we pass through the checkpoint in the storage room, the main laboratory should be right here. Right there. The drones showed that the mercenaries set up some simple fortifications at and around the checkpoint. No bunkers, no dead ends. The entrance has been sealed shut and they've laid a lot of barbed wire all around. Their numbers? 9. Their rough positions have been marked on the team terminal. The entrance to the long corridor leading from the checkpoint into the storage room has been completely sealed, and the drones haven't been able to get in any farther. Report complete. Any other entrances? None that I can see. Okay, I'll take care of this. Do you have any suggestions, Lord? I still have some extra incendiary rounds. How many do you need? 2 should do. Got it. The checkpoint entrance is full of obstacles. Blow it up and the rubble's just going to be in the way. Here's the plan. We'll blast the ceiling and the wall on the right. One of us will rappel in from the top and provide cover fire. The rest of us will breach from the right side. Frost, you're on cover fire and support. Understood. Once the charges go off, Tachanka, drop a grenade from the top. The rest of us will throw flashbangs at the designated locations. On the ground, we'll head inside in this order. Blitz, Ash, Tachanka. Look alive out there. Don't let this opportunity slip away. If you have any questions, it's now or never. You all ready? Good. Take position. Frost, on your mark. That's when we'll begin. I'm heading to position. Breach charge is hot. Explosives ready to go. Ready. Flashbangs! Throwing frag grenade. Move, move, move! Enemy down. Blitz, 2 o'clock. Frag out. Machine guns, 10 o'clock. I'll provide cover fire. The rest of you move up. Firing breaching round. Fortifications down. There goes the bad guys. 3 more straight ahead. 2. Clear. 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 Everybody okay? All right, let's keep moving. Frost, watch our 6. Understood. I'll open the door. Blitz, stay alert. Tachanka, use the drone and check out the hallway and storage room status. I'm on it. Sure. How is it looking up ahead? Storage room was filled with ammo and supplies. They'd been stationed there for some time. There are no hostiles in the storage room, just black crystals on some petri dishes. Is that a threat? Hard to say. What's this stuff inside the cans? Glowing mineral crystals. Never seen them before. Minerals. Composites. As long as they are glowing, they might be radioactive. Don't worry, Geiger's not reacting to anything. Then let's leave them be and go straight in. Time's a-wasting, team. Let's move. Excuse me. Ash, this is Iana. We've just taken care of the enemy, but they've blocked the corridor passage with a lot of obstacles. We have to take a different route to the core. Over. We're about to head inside the main laboratory. I need you to come back us up ASAP. Over. Copy. Iana out. What now? Shall we wait for them? No, time is pressing. Keep going. Up ahead is the main laboratory. Get ready. We're going in. Stay alert. Subdue the target when you have them in sight. Look alive. Go! Ooh. There's no one here, just these strange machines. Don't let your guard down. The lab equipment's running, which means the target is still here. Then we need to head inside the real laboratory. This here's the control room. You see the machines on the other side of that window? That's where the actual experiments happen. Stay alert. We don't know how many hostiles we have here. I see unwelcome friends will always invite themselves in. Target in sight. Hold your fire. Give me a sit rep. Looks like we're the only ones here. No other hostiles detected. Put your hands up, Dr. Levi. Move away from the terminal. And here I was wondering how much longer it would take you to show up. Did you take out my security detail? What a shame. I cut them their last paycheck just yesterday. Well, I ask you to be careful with the things here. It can be delicate. Don't even try to do anything funny. This charade is over. Over? My new experiment has just started. Stop what you're doing. This is your last warning. And what if I refuse? What's the matter? Are you afraid of a senile, defenseless, ordinary citizen? You're hardly defenseless or ordinary. You're the chief scientist of the Magnet Hill No. 2 laboratory, Levi Klitschko. Stay away from the equipment. I know exactly what you're trying to do. Blitz, cuff him. Understood. I've got to hand it to you. Your team works fast, but not fast enough. Reactors activated. The black rocks are glowing. Get it to stop. I'm sorry. I'm afraid not. Get it stopped right now. There's nothing you can do to stop it, but do feel free to fire your weapons. This is my life's work. If it wasn't for those short-sighted, useless morons getting in the way again and again, I would have finished all of this 20 years ago. If not for those meddling kids and that stupid dog... Never mind. You have no idea what you're doing. The equipment in this lab is in disrepair and you're creating a nuclear contamination disaster. Of course I know what I'm doing. The road of exploratory science is a treacherous one. Yet it's a road worth taking. Roads that lead to the truth are always worth taking. All I'm doing now is getting the results I should have had 20 years ago, and no one has the right to stop me. Darn mercenaries. Oh, wow. Look at that render for Ella. Different compared to Lucent Arrowhead. And Iana. You doing okay? Just complaining a little bit about the close miss just now. We could have regrouped with the rest of the team at the main lab. It's not too late. The checkpoint's right ahead. Interesting. I like these renders. What's that sound? An earthquake? No, it's coming from the lab. Get your replicator ready. They might be in trouble. What the hell's this? Where's everyone? What happened? No. Where's the lab? Where's the map? What's with this huge hole? There's no problem with the map. The main lab should be right behind this door. The lab's gone? Whoops. Up. Wake up. Cohen, you okay? Cohen. Let me do it. Well, I'm impressed. I'm just giving her pressure points a few presses to help patch her up. That should do it. What happened? Alexander, she's awake. Well done. You doing okay, Cohen? Where are we? What happened? That's a good question. After that madman activated his equipment, the whole lab was swept up by a huge shockwave. Where are we? Just where are we? No idea. The target activated that weird device of his and we all got knocked out by the blast. And after we came around, well, this is it. We don't have any signals, so we can't contact Ella and Iana. The compass isn't working either. The only thing I'm sure about is we definitely aren't anywhere near the mission area. That's hardly the most precise way to put it, but it's like we were teleported. Somewhere with the whole lab. What? She's right. It's like we were suddenly launched by a rocket to the moon, and that's not a joke. Through a huge crack in the wall, all one can see outside the house is a desolate desert, as if the house had fallen from the sky to the desert. Should I go on recon? No, don't be hasty. Understood. If Levi Klitschko was swept by the shockwave too, he'd probably be in a similar situation. We'll rest up first. I'll plan our next steps. Good news first. The supplies for those mercenaries have been thrown in with us, so, at least for a short time, ammo won't be an issue. What about the bad news? The bad news is... And what is this? And what is this sound? Eyes open, there's something coming towards us. It sounds like some sort of heavy machinery, but it's way too fast. Let me have a look. I can't believe my eyes. Shit, we're in big trouble. Prepare for battle. What exactly did you see? Have you ever seen an arthropod as big as a small car? What did you say? Oh, screw it. Now we see it. Open fire! Fire at will! Blitz, get back! Ah! My shield! Normal bullets aren't going to penetrate its husk. If we let that thing tear the control room's wall down, it's all over for us. AP's effective. AP armor penetrating, okay. But shooting its legs isn't stopping it. Let it come in. What? Cease fire! Let it bring the wall down. Blitz, you okay? I'm fine, it's just my shield's busted. It took a good bite out of the wall. Let's be sure to take its husk down when we get our payback. Take its husk. Ash, quick, what's your plan? I'm not sure we could call it a plan, but it's the only choice we have. Your ammo's the only thing we have that's doing any damage to that thing, plus my breaching rounds, maybe. And I have one left. We'll take him down the moment he breaches the wall. Judging by the damage AP's done on that thing, the breaching round should take its leg down. Hopefully that'll give us a clean view of its underside. After that, it's going to be all you. If any of you has a better idea, I'm all ears. All right, time's up. Ready! Reloading! It's over. What on earth is this? Finally time to take a breather. Phew. Man, that was close. Is this really Earth? Like, you know, the planet we all know about? No reason to think otherwise, but we need to prepare for the worst. With the wall collapsed, we can't even use this place as shelter. Let's get moving, at least until we find another place to hunker down. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. All right. On to the tutorial. With Tachanka, we get to use him. That's cool. I'll use what I have for OP and stuff to do some pulls at the end. Or at least partway through, we'll see. Because I got all 4 of the ops from the first one, so, or from the second event, so let's see if we can get the ones for here on this account. I only got Doc and Fuse, because Fuse was the in-event giveaway, the welfare operator, on my other account, so that's interesting, but this account's slowly taking over as my main one. Damn, where do we even set up here? No time for belly aching. There's another sandstorm up ahead. At least those are more or less the same as the ones we know, even if they occasionally come with some nasty big critters in them. Be careful and keep your distance from the sandstorm. That storm will damage our weapons, reducing our attack and quickly depleting our stamina. Once HP is fully depleted, redeployment time will be greatly increased. Get to cover, quick! Those dirt mounds make good shelter from the sandstorm. They protect a row of tiles behind them from its effects. A storm that intense will wear down those mounds pretty quick. The sandstorm will keep knocking down the dirt mounds until they're all destroyed. Sandstorm is a common weather disaster in Sargon, and should be evaded from if possible. Travelers seek to transverse the barrens may look for a large dirt mounds to shelter from sandstorm. However, dirt mounds do not stay solid, and will start to crumble under the attack of the sandstorm. Use reinforcements to fortify the nearby dirt mounds to form a shield against the sandstorm.
Move! Quickly!
So that's those. We're gonna trap them.
Deployed.
Yeah, see, we won't be able to do that. That's all right. I'll put him there.
You are all up. Yeah.
Setting up.
If anyone needs to sneeze, do it now.
He has to be blocked.
I'm all stocked up. Watch for the blast!
Trap them there. I love how his little eyes there. That's pretty cool.
I'm all stocked to the clear.
Here comes those stony crabs again, and not just one. Fall back, Blitz, get clear of that sandstorm. Hold up. Hold up there. The crabs look like the sandstorm's getting to them. Seems it significantly reduces enemy movement speed. Blitz, do you see those pits? The metal crabs may be tough, but... She basically explains they're gonna fall down, I guess. Well, I have done this tutorial on my other account, but that's it. Sure, looks like an option. We'll just run this. Yep, bye-bye. And done.
Mission accomplished.
Mission accomplished.
I have seen it all.
I have seen it all. Yeah, I'm not doing that the whole time. All right, OD1. Now there's also 8 stages to this one, just like there was the other. So here we go. Ooh, shorts. I'm back. No problems, I take it. Nothing of particular note within a 30-kilometer range. The area is safe for now. Very good. Let me take a look at the map. We're on the right track. Keep north and we should see a waypoint the locals called Trum Hill before long. We'll have an opportunity to rest at its base. From there, we could start moving west, and we'll be at Fikon within 2 days. Is Fikon our destination? Of course not, but it's the most suitable transfer station. Fakon sees a lot of Colombian caravans, which we can follow to reach Twin River. There, we have a Rhodes Island branch office. If we can get to the branch office, we'll be able to secure ourselves some transportation. From there, the rest will be much easier.
Music to my ears. Can't wait to wrap this on-foot odyssey. My shoe soles are worn straight flat. You ought to walk outside more. It's good for your health. And you won't need to keep worrying so much about your weight.
Hey! Oh, that's cold for Liskarm even. That's great.
What about the communicator? Any linkable signal nodes? Still no good. The way I see it, we're not going to get any direct contact with the Rhodes Island land ship until we reach Fakon. Not unless we can get our hands on a more powerful transmitter. You can forget about that. There's no other nomadic city to be found around here.
Quiet. Quite. That's why I made sure to ask you to bring more than enough food and water. It's a tall order to find any supplies on the way to Fakon. I do remember little settlements dotted all around here and there. But after all these years, I could hardly say whether any of them are still what they used to be.
So you're pretty familiar with this area, Mr. Rangers?
Ha ha ha. I might have been a tad more familiar in my sprightlier days. Truth is, I haven't been around these wastelands in a long, long time.
You drew that map yourself, Mr. Rangers?
Indeed. Any good ranger can draw their own maps. Though I would have never guessed this one would still be useful even now. The topography around here hasn't been marred by catastrophes too badly, so we might count ourselves lucky.
I'm sorry for all the bother we made you.
Don't you worry about it. It's this old man's duty to look out for you young'uns. I share the responsibility for this mess anyways. We wouldn't be in such a tight spot now if I had made proper preparations beforehand.
What, the band of mysterious mercenaries that raided the warehouse and by rotten luck just happened to make off with our car? Who's going to believe a story like that? I think it was the trader, actually. Pulled our car apart to sell off the parts, then fed us some random explanation to cover up after that fact. I actually agree with you for once. You didn't need the for once. The old me wouldn't have let him off as kindly as that, if we're going by our old Black Steel mercenary customs.
But you are Rhodes Island's operators now. I'd much rather not see you get into fights with the locals. The medical supplies made it safely, and the trader didn't try to cook the books when paying us. We can't really ask for too much more.
Carrying a sack of refined originium ingots across the barren lands by foot is incredibly dangerous.
I won't deny how perforated their explanations were. We can't count on the local Vuiver mercenaries to be totally honest with us, so I'll keep an eye out for that next time. But in the meantime, once we get back, you do have to report on the property loss to logistics.
Yeah, this is just how Vuiver is.
That said, I could likely find our way there, even without any maps or arts, but we'd be taking time we don't have. I worry we're too many for that, and our water and food wouldn't last us.
You can navigate the Sargon Barrens without any tools? May I ask how?
If we ever have the time in the future, I can teach you a thing or two. It's all nothing more than my experience.
How do I put it? You're very worthy of the Ranger of the Red Valley title, if I do say so.
Ha 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 ha. So you youngsters know how to tell an old tale or two as well, then. That's just an exaggerated title.
Aren't those tales all true, though? Like how you rounded up and brought all of the Jenkins 7 to justice in a single day, or how you held off an entire column of Rusthammer bandits all by yourself. How you struck 10 targets with just a single arrow, or how you shot down a Latteronan's bullets while high up in the sky.
My word, so this is what the stories are like now.
My Sargon colleagues at Black Steel spoke of your tales from time to time, Mr. Rangers. They're all like this, pretty much. Stories not out of place in a theater. They won't be out of place in a novel either. You've heard them too, right, Miss Schwartz? You've heard them too, right, Miss Schwartz? There was a mercenary traveling the breadth of Columbia who told me one or two about them. I believe they were the Scimitar of the Bloody Valley and the Tragedy of the Lord of Myr.
A little exaggerated indeed. Rangers aren't all as powerful as they've been portrayed. I can't suppose to know what you've all heard, but I can say the most widespread stories are largely untrue. Rangers were not a fighting force. If you want my description, we were more akin to survivors banded together out in the wild. They started as just a couple of ordinary folk fallen into times of pain and strife. They stepped forth,
Against the odds, against it all. They protected villages against the scourges that would pillage them. They weren't trained warriors, any of them. They were a resistance, born in a time of war that knew no other way, of devastation that took and took and took. They were brimmed with anger under it. They refused to kneel to cruel destiny through the months and years of the war. Afterwards, as more and more joined them, they slowly grew from a lone autonomous militia of sorts to a collective of regional organizations, and so they resided across the wastelands, defending settlements while offering medical aid. I've read that from my time at Blacksteel. From reports of the Sargon region, it wasn't just officials, but the rangers as well who'd pursue wasteland hooligans and mercenary looters to exhaustion, out across the wastelands. What those reports refer to is truth, I can say that. Back then, a group of rangers certainly had its heroes, and they certainly caught themselves a fair share of villains. The events you described happened, but I stress that wasn't standard fare. The vast majority of the time, we rangers simply helped towns fix their wells, fend off wild beasts, gather medicine, that kind of stuff. Just the little things. Moreover, this area wasn't even Sargon territory back then. So, Mr. Rangers, back then, you must have been part of the group of heroes, right? Ha ha ha. This old man is hardly so prestigious. I was but a normal scout, nothing more. Normal? In the end, this organization of rangers ended up disbanding, didn't it? That certainly is a long story. Many things happened afterwards, to say the least, and once the war concluded, the Lord Emirs were settled, each with all the land they wanted. Those Lord Emirs of Sargon would not tolerate an organization that bowed to no one, and the Rangers were one such organization. Of course, opinion from the Lord Emirs aside, there were many reasons why the Rangers disbanded, but these are past events, and it's been a very, very long time since. The nitty-gritty of it all has fallen out of this old man's head. So all those wild stories never actually happened. The truth is often mundane, so you remedy it by exaggerating how things happened and you make the story dramatic. And only when it's dramatic enough do people pass it down. Your stories all picked up layers upon layers of artistry before they reached you. Alright, this old man's told plenty enough himself. Let's get ourselves ready to leave. By the sound of things, we've already reached Sargon territory. We were already in Sargon as of last night. Can you please pay a little attention? When suddenly you're in trouble, I'll be the last one to help you. I love how much you suck. Oh my god! They're at each other in this one. I love it. I mean, they always have that bond, you know, they're always partnered up, they're always giving each other shit. But man, is that funny. Just seeing them a little more at each other right now, especially how Lisgarb called her out there twice now. That's great. The land we step on now is the jurisdiction of the Lord Emir of Baalir, though his provisional capital was still a ways away. After that... Hold! Stop moving! You heard that too. All of you, stay still. Something's approaching. It's close. It's underneath us. Scatter! Franka, move! What? What are these? Are these sand beasts? Since when do sand beasts grow like this? 1, 2... No, there's just too many! Move into formation. Be ready for battle. Okay.
Reap not what's sown by malice.
That's no ordinary infected creature. Ordinary infected creatures don't split like that. These mutants break apart when they go down. Watch out. These split units are not counted into enemy progression. However, they will... Yeah, they deplete that. What the hell is going on here?
Let me create a diversion. Apple pie!
Don't make this harder than it needs to be.
I'll put him there. That's good.
This hunt has dragged on for too long.
repair that one. And we'll just have to worry about that. Ooh, that means I can do this.
Your lives are mine to protect.
And I can put others down here, like I can deploy Pookie there. That'll help.
Solid
Simple.
positioning.
I'm prepared to feel the firelight.
Oh my, is she amazing? I freaking love her. Absolutely. So they're protected, and this row is going to be protected. Well, I could do this one now, just for fun. Not that I really need it with where we're at. But let's put Ifyala out now. Well, she's got this whole region covered here, so yeah. That should be it. A little OP on my stuff there, but that's good. Poof! Wonderful. Simple enough. Last one here. Everyone else, any wounded?
No worries here. None here either.
Communications equipment?
Unharmed.
Is this its burrow? Strange.
They seemed like sand beasts, at least. Sand beasts of this size? Over 2 meters long?
I've spent the better part of my life in these wastelands, but never have I seen a sand beast capable of digging holes.
These creatures have originium crystals on their bodies. Possibly biological mutations caused by the originium pollution, then. There's no nomadic cities, no factories, and no mines. How does originium pollution ever happen here? Could it have been a catastrophe's fault? You'd be underestimating nature. Wildlife knows catastrophes far better than we do. These creatures would have been the first to avoid originium pollution. Cities can be torn apart by catastrophes while the wildlife emerges untouched. Nature in this world is ruthless when it wants to eliminate you. If you don't have some way of dealing with originium, your time as a living species won't be long. I think I have a hypothesis. Like ordinary originium slugs, the body's outer shell could have absorbed originium into its makeup, while its innards remain clean and uncorrupted. On that note, has PRTS ever recorded any similar cases? None. Not even for the Ironforge City leakage incident in Colombia, and that's the first thing you'd think of.
Sand beasts are docile creatures by nature. Originium shouldn't change them so drastically, and I can't imagine anything short of arts would make them outright aggressive. Stay vigilant. Don't let your guard down.
Arts? A caster? I just hope this doesn't complicate things for us.
Don't let it worry you too much. We'll continue on as we were anyhow.
Understood. Is this a Rhodes Island emergency rescue signal? Is it another Rhodes Island field team, maybe?
Nope.
Oh, thank you. Someone finally answered. Help us. Requesting support. This is a Rhodes Island field personnel team. If you receive this, please reply. This is Long Spring, Watchtower 33. Mob, currently, they've come in.
Calm down. Operator, tell us what's happened.
The signal's very poor. They're coming through intermittent. Help us, please. And you.
And burst of sharp static and communications break off.
Well, that's not good. What does Watchtower 33 refer to?
From the sound of it, it seemed like a Rhodes Island safe house's code name.
A safe house? Mission brief didn't mention any safe houses around here.
Truthfully, in a few areas, Rhodes Island will make a habit of hiding some safe houses out of the way for use in very particular field missions.
But we ourselves don't know where Watchtower 33 is.
Long Spring. That name rings a faint bell. If you could let me see the map for a second. Here, if I'm not mistaken, following about 20 kilometers north from Trum Hill, you should find another canyon. That canyon had a little village nearby, I'm sure of it. That village years ago had a well, one of the very few reliable water sources for miles around.
So that's why it's Long Spring. So what do we do next? Change of plans? Or we can try to make for Fakon overnight, get in touch with the branch office and see what assistance we can procure from them. I worry the operator in the safe house may not last long enough for that. All of you, keep going until you reach Fakon, and find some support or other there if you can. I'll head for Long Spring and see what the situation is. Don't you worry. I know this land very, very well. Indeed, I can afford to be more flexible on my lonesome. If things get out of hand here, I'll head back for Fakon promptly and join up with you all.
I object.
Oh?
I'm aware how wary it is for me to say our sand-bearing mutants and the safe house's distress call might not just be coincidence, but the Sargon Barons demand we must maintain vigilance. We're not clear about the areas surrounding Long Spring. Given we are not, you would gamble more alone than you can afford, Rangers, sir. I'd also like to recommend that we move for Long Spring as one. If things aren't friendly for us, we could still cover for each other, especially during a retreat.
That does make sense. Yes, you're right. The old man will listen. I ought to at my age anyhow. Can't be as spry and reckless as I was in my younger years.
This thing is ugly as sin. Ugliness is a personal thing, subject to the eye of each beholder. You ought to be seeing through to what this creature embodies, signifies. See through to the myriad array of evolutionary possibilities that it testifies to. Order is but our own arbitrarily imposed concept which nature suffers. All the world and its beings were, in their primordiality, chaos seized by impermanence. Of course, I don't expect any of you sort to understand that in the first place. It's only natural your soft, ignorant little brains can't grasp the grand strokes of the evolutionary scheme. A language I don't know. A language I know, please. I gotta get that guy's voice down. Excuse me. Of course, dear sir. Setting apart the matter of whether or not it is ugly to you, I must say you are not seeming wholly satisfied with it. Else, you would not be looking for me in the first place. It still isn't strong enough, schoolboy. Your little beastie couldn't even make the Lord's escort blink. Surely you do not suppose it was down to sheer incompetence of your ignorant little mercenaries. These mutant creatures are weapons, just weapons. If they knew tactics for themselves, you could throw every mercenary of yours into the garbage heap the next day. Bite it, old coot. I'm going to twist your goddamn head off. Hold it. Listen, schoolboy. I'm not backing your research so you can talk my ear off about a bunch of high crap. You're here for me to solve practical problems. I acknowledge it, no mistake, your research is something else. But if you can't help me depose of my father with it, then you and your little shop of horrors can walk yourselves into the goddamn garbage heap. My patience is limited. As is mine. I have explained this to you over and over already, and I do not wish to do it again, because I do not wish to waste my time. You think you can fool me? I've poured money into your little experiments for half a year, the likes of which you'll never see in your entire goddamn life, and I don't think I've seen an equal return on it. Where's that cruel and frightening army you promised me? Where's that might to make the heart know fear, huh? You think all it takes to keep me happy is a bunch of ugly, swollen, light-up sand beasts? What does it take for you to understand? The fruits of scientific research need to grow swollen. If money was all it took to accelerate the march of science to ripen the fruit, I would have long since flown away to the moon by now. Enough of that. I'll give you 2 more days, and I want to like what I see. Imbecile. You speak in a language I don't understand one more time, and I'll throw you and all your little creations into the barren lands to make merry until the sun goes down. Go on, try me. Fetch me some corpses. Come again? Bring me corpses. People's corpses. Corpses like the ones you leave behind. Any will do. Of course, ones blighted by the Originium infection will do even better. What the hell do you need those for? You bastard old coot, now you want to insult the dead, huh? Did you not want the might to make the heart know fear? Do not hang yourself upon all that pernicious, useless witter you might otherwise call ethics. The corpses, bring them to me. I would like to have you see something interesting. Chief, this goes completely against the Lord Emir of Baelir's great commandments. The old coot is trying to dupe you. You want to take the dead and raise me some Zyaduns? Zyaduns? Wait.
Shayedans. Something like that. I do not know whatever this ghoulish thing you call a Shahedan is, but rest assured, you will find confidence in the fruits of my scientific research. Chief, I don't think... Shut up! Old boy, I want you to listen carefully. You might think you're the peak of intelligence. You might think you've seen every move on the board. You might think there's nothing you don't know. But don't think about playing a fast one on me. I've gotten to know your kind all too well. Everyone like you dies because they think they're too goddamn smart to die. The only reason I still put up with you is because you're still useful. I can get you what you need, but don't disappoint me, because you will not like what comes after. Well then, what else can I possibly say? Good luck to you. You're still alive. Don't forget who you have to thank for it. Without me, your research would amount to a pat of bullshit. If not for me, you'd be 6 months dead, rotting in this ore mine. Head in your ass. I'm leaving you two here. Watch him. Got it, boss? Gaggle of imbeciles. Every second I spend talking to you is spent killing off my precious brain cells. The aged scholar reaches the depths of the caverns. Meandering tunnels lined by frames of cast concrete set in a particular yet strange pattern. The things in here were never meant to be here. Within gray-white metal walls, instruments and devices not of this world wind up into operation. And within a culture chamber, manufactured of clear glass, originium enveloped in connective tissue floats. It contracts, it relaxes, it convulses. Originium. It boggles my mind that this world has such an extraordinary existence gracing it. Yet somehow these locals fear it in their ignorance, fear what evolution this great power brings with it. But no, oh, of course, they should be afraid. For the fool fears the unknown, the fool fears might, the fool fears progress. Ignorance, oh you ignorance!
すべての勝利が私たちの行く道を照らす光になる。ドクター、お疲れ様。
Otsukare-sama. Okay. OD-2. Let's get into it. Mission log, day 184. Currently, we're still holding fast in this rundown house. 184th day of the mission and the 27th day of reaching the aforementioned rundown house. Who would believe that we've already lived in this place for 184 days? We still have no clues about this world. 2 weeks ago, based on instructions from the locals, we left this rundown house and headed to another town. Before we left, the townspeople said it was a more developed place. I am unsure if our definitions of developed are the same. What happened? Turns out it was a bandit den. No batteries, no useful information, not even a single person who would communicate normally with. Who we could communicate normally with. Of course, we didn't leave empty-handed. Tina acquired a car. The process was long and arduous, and used up much of what little supplies and ammunition we still had. However, the car was heavily damaged during the conflict and broke down soon after we returned to the house. Alexander tried to repair the car, but this car didn't have any obvious fuel intake point, and on further inspection even the fuel tank was absent. The engine structure was completely incomprehensible to him, to the point he wasn't sure if it actually was an engine. The only good news was that it was a left-hand drive car. Having been in this world for half a year by now, we are very certain that this place is not Earth. Stealing cars and getting into gunfights, it's like we're fugitives in a post-apocalyptic film. Those bandits with long lizard tails didn't even need to use guns, as they were able to throw javelins weighing up to 10 kilograms to a distance tens of meters away. The term gunfight may not be accurate here. Some of them could even create huge fireballs from thin air and launch them, with the effect somewhere in between a grenade and an RPG. This world is far too abnormal to the point where I'm no longer surprised by anything. The adaptability of humans often exceeds my expectations. It seems that we will continue to struggle to survive here. Today will be the last day I'm recording. I don't plan on recording anymore. The storage for this recorder is almost full and the battery will not last much longer. Our only source of power on this world is Tina's solar charger. Thank goodness this world has a sun as well. What would happen if this charger broke, or if we used up all our supplies and ammunition? To be frank, I don't know. The situation still feels unreal to me, with everything being so weird yet so natural. Which way is the path back home? Come on, Umon, look at this. Hey, you don't eat vegetables? Let me see what else I have here.
What are you doing?
Ha! Come and look at Umon, my little buddy.
You're raising a... What's this called again?
Originium slug. That's what all the locals called these things.
You still have the mood to raise this.
Why not? I'm spending all day sitting on the roof after all. Might as well find something to do. Can't be talking to my machine gun all the time.
Your job is to keep aware of the surrounding area's safety, not play around with the snail thing.
What you said makes sense, but what are we guarding against? Those quivering infected, or the townsfolk living a kilometer away who never come here anyway? The only living thing that's coming close to this dump of a house is a flying lizard, which I suppose helped out with the ration issue.
Where's Tina and Kotz?
They went to exchange supplies with those infected people. Tina managed to hunt some stuff again yesterday. She's becoming pretty experienced at it.
Tina went out to hunt by herself again?
Of course. She's even enjoying it. She's been trying to capture a wild bird and beast. By the way, Kotz went to the town. Remember that thing I dismantled from the car? Kotz said he knows a mechanic in town and wanted to ask about it.
Fine.
You're too anxious, Cohen. Just relax. We can't return anytime soon anyway. Learn from Kotz and go talk with those people. They're somewhat friendly, at least. I still haven't learned a local language. Man, Kotz really knows his stuff.
That's what I'm afraid of.
Afraid of what?
Kotz is getting too close to those people. It isn't a good thing. The atmosphere around here is very abnormal. The town is too full of contradictions. We've been here for nearly a month. Don't tell me you haven't picked up on that. A local government official who stays in his manor all day and never leaves. Oh, I guess the proper term is lord? There's those fully armed private soldiers of his as well. In this infected zone, the entire region is governed by the same lord, yet these infected are not allowed to live in the town. Even the other townsfolk are unwilling to approach this place. They were driven here.
That's because these friends got a strange sickness. The act of separating the sick when an infectious disease is raging about is not uncommon after all. Even in the past, at least the Lord did not just lock them all up in prison.
Originium sickness. Or was it oropathy? I don't remember the exact term. All we know about this sickness is that it is related to originium, it is infectious, and it is incurable. But how does it actually spread between people? What does it being incurable actually mean? No one's answered our questions, and assumed that we should know the basic situation. This disease is either common sense in this town, or it's common sense in this world. If it is only contact with the originium ore that will cause problems, then I don't think that is necessary to carry out quarantine measures. Besides, the doctor also thinks that there is no risk of infection from our frequency and distance of interaction with these infected. This infected zone is a wall-less prison, breeding hate between the infected and the townsfolk. You can feel it even without seeing it for yourself. The word I'm using is hate, not just exclusion and discrimination. Hate is carved into every word they speak, every action they do. It's become part of their culture. Hate. You understand what I mean? This isn't just a problem about an unknown disease anymore. We shouldn't get involved in any local conflicts. Just imagine this scenario. If the townsfolk began grabbing torches, raising pitchforks, and rushing into these infected homes, what would you do then? Shoot them down?
Hard to say. We have them to thank for our food, water, and medicine for the past few months. Before this, we've been trudging back and forth across this treacherous wasteland, being attacked by anything that moves and not getting even a single glimpse of civilization, until we got their help. Do you really think we could just mind our own business, Cohen? If they grabbed weapons and broke into Dr. Miaro's clinic, do you really want to just stand aside and watch? As for the problem you mentioned earlier, I don't think the infectiousness can be ignored. It's as if everyone in this world has undergone professional chemical warfare training. They're always covering up their nose and mouth and being extremely sensitive about protecting their respiratory systems, no matter their age or gender. I've repeated this point before as well. Yet we must prepare for similar protections for ourselves. The doctor always approved of us keeping our distance. Thankfully, the infected don't have any complaints towards this. Perhaps this is normal to them. What did the doctor say about this? I didn't ask him. None of us asked him. Every time we mention this topic, he always looks as though he would rather avoid it completely. So long as he thinks our defensive measures are fine, I won't bother him about it. Excuse me. I did not order pizza. There's no need to match passwords, Miss Cohen. It's me, Miaro. Right on cue. Hold on, let me open the door. Oh, okay. Good morning, Doctor. Good morning, Miss Cohen. Good morning, Mr. Alexander. Heh, we were just talking about you. You do realize you're raising an Originium slug, Mr. Alexander? Yeah, this little thing is actually pretty fun to play with. Tina caught some earlier, and this one was too small, so I kept it. So you came to look for Tina? No, I'm here to deliver stuff. These are medical supplies. There were more leftovers this time. Thank you very much, Doctor. We're always imposing on you. I should be the one thanking you. It's all thanks to those Originium slugs Miss Tina caught that we have enough painkillers for the next few months. So these Originium slugs really can cure diseases. How do I put it? Oropathy is incurable. This remedy made by fermenting the body fluids of Originium slugs can only help to relieve the pain. It cannot actually cure the disease. However, being able to relieve the pain is already a great blessing on the infected. Crystallization on the skin will affect normal life, and the pain is so unbearable for some that they cannot even move. It's great that we can be of help. This is the book you asked me to look for you last time. I specifically looked for one in the Ursus language. Oh, great. Let me take a look. Right. Can you understand it? With some difficulty. At a glance, it looks like Cyrillic. But when I look closer at it, there are many differences. At least you have something to do now. Just treat it as learning a foreign language. It should be more interesting than playing with a snail. Speaking of language, what do you call the language we're speaking now? Your accents are a little weird, but it is undoubtedly the Victorian language. Victoria. What about the locals? What do they speak? The people here speak Sargonian, though Sargonian itself has a lot of dialects. For example, most Sargons can't understand the Sargonian spoken by the tribes from the rainforest in East Sargon. That's complicated. Ursus. What kind of place is Ursus? Right. I'm not too sure myself. Back in school, they used to say that Ursus was in the far north and covered in snow year-round. It's ruled by a Tsar. But I don't know anyone who's ever been to Ursus. Tsar. What's wrong? You seem disappointed. A little. If I have the chance, I'd really like to take a look at this place called Ursus. Traveling to faraway places. That sounds nice. Perhaps only great people like you are able to do it. If possible, I also hope to travel to Columbia to complete my studies and become a real doctor. Alas, I don't have that much money, and the patients here still need me. You're still young. There's always a chance in the future. Maybe. All right, there's one other thing. Please don't go outside for a while, and hide that car of yours as well. What happened? Did something happen in town? Yes. How did you know? Last night, I saw the Lord's soldiers patrolling by the wall. That was unusual. Actually, the Lord's soldiers have been doing night patrols in the infected zone for a week now. Recently, monsters have been appearing in town. They've attacked many people. Monsters? Man, all the animals in this world are already so strange. I don't dare imagine what a monster would be like. The townsfolk have been complaining about the infected lately. Do you want to move to the second floor of my clinic for a few days? Lord's soldiers will come to inspect this ruined house sooner or later. Will it be fine, Doctor? It might bring you trouble. You've helped me out so much. I don't think it's a big deal. I agree with the doctor. Clashing with the Lord's soldiers will just get us involved in local issues and bring more trouble upon us. I don't want to get into a fight with those 2-meter-tall dog-head people. Dog... what? I'll tell you about that next time. Someone's coming. I did not order pizza. Alexander, open the door! It's Tina. Hold on. Calm down. What happened? Cohen! Trouble! A group of armed townsfolk are blocking the road to the infected zone and infected are confronting them. Those people are acting very aggressively, demanding that someone be handed over to them. You see? What did I say earlier? Speak of the devil. Townsfolk? Armed? Why? The Lord's soldiers do not allow normal townsfolk to approach the infected zone. That just means the Lord's soldiers no longer have the time to care about this place anymore. Wait, what about Kotz? Didn't Kotz go to the town this morning? Kutz said he was going to look for a mechanic in the town this morning, but he hasn't returned yet. Oh no. What do we do? Go check it out first. At least make sure if Kutz is there. Should we bring weapons? Bring them just in case, but don't attack unless absolutely necessary. All right. No, wait! Don't worry. Let me handle it first. I'm more familiar with the townsfolk. Let me negotiate with them. All right, Doctor. Please be careful. It's fine. The townsfolk, they're reasonable.
Hand that person over! Give us that suspicious person. All of us saw it. What the hell are you talking about? Don't lie to us, you damn pollutants. I know all the recent happenings you guys were doing. You ungrateful maggots. The Lord should never have allowed you to stay. I saw a large and heavily wrapped up person leave town and sneak over there earlier. Hand him over. I don't know what you're talking about. Fine, since you refuse to give up this false pretense, we don't need to be courteous with you anymore. Everyone, get them! Don't you dare! Do you really think we're pushovers? Everyone, they want to fight! Hey, stop! Don't fight! Let's talk first, alright? Mr. Kutz, didn't I ask you to try to hide? It's fine, don't worry. Let me talk with them. This accent, you're not from here. Who are you? What do I do now? Ahem. Blitz, I'm a merchant, one that collects trash. Merchant? If you're a merchant, why do you have to sneak around? What do you have under that bulging robe of yours? Come on, show us! Capture him, bring him to the Lord. Fine, 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 I'll listen to you. I'll go with you guys. There's no reason for us to fight, right? I'll explain clearly to your lord. Mr. Kutz. Capture these guys as well. I suspect they're all accomplices. You, don't go too far. What right do you have to capture others? Oh, come on. Bro, that's pretty unreasonable of you. These friends just bought some Originium slugs that I hunted. Surely it's not a crime to sell Originium slugs. Who knows if you people are colluding together to plan something sinister. Capture them. Capture all of them. Stop! Are you all planning to go against Lord Tolo's will? Doctor, you finally come. Apologies, Dr. Miero. Lord Tolo ruled that no one is allowed to approach this zone unless you are an infected as well. What are all of you Are all of you infected? Don't bother trying to smooth talk us. What kind of relationship do you have with this outsider? Spit it out. Now. Otherwise, we'll capture you as well. He's a patient of mine. There's no rule that my clinic cannot accept outsiders as patients. Well then, since you want to stop me, why don't you try and see? What are you planning to do? Don't waste time here. Bring them away. Hold on. You're not from this town. What do you think of it? The doctor is trying to reason with them, but the other side are stubborn as bulls. Doesn't seem like it can be resolved peacefully. Don't be rash. Let the doctor handle it. Cohen, something's wrong. Huh? Do you see those big guys at the back there? I see them. What are those things they're carrying? They're wrapped in cloth. With that size, doesn't seem like they're farming tools. Would normal farmers carry these kind of heavy weapons? Even in this world, I don't think farmers would till the fields while carrying huge swords. They're not here to talk, Cohen. Don't do anything stupid. Both of you, cover me. Understood. Brat, shut your mouth if you don't want to die. You're not from here. I've never seen you before. Who are you people? What are you planning to do here? Huh. You guys are just like thieves. You guys are just like thieves, crying, "Stop, thief!" Guards, there are intruders here. Guards! Everyone, there are intruders! Tch. You talk too much. Time to shut up. Huh? Doctor, get down! Guns! They're mercenaries! Why are there mercenaries in the infected zone? Don't worry about it. We have to bring them all back, dead or alive. Do it! Don't even think about it. Lord, cover fire! Should have done so from the start. Taste this!
We can
Okay.
take care of ourselves, Professor. You just focus on giving orders. Let me create a diversion. Apple pie!
That should be
Keep
good,
your
because I can
distance, or
get
you'll risk
everybody in
getting
here,
caught up in
and
the
we'll be
fighting.
alright.
Don't make this harder than it needs to be. A valiant struggle, but you won't get away.
Your lives are mine to protect.
And what purpose do you think your sacrifice will serve?
War. A word I've not heard in a long, long time.
Okay, so we've got them set up, and they're in pretty good shape up top. So,
家訓苦難と闇を恐れるべからず
we'll have her like that. We put Amiya up above.
I wasn't supposed to. Branch and bone bear weeds.
Keep this all healed.
Mounds and ruins bloom fields.
Got it.
Beautifully executed so far. We'll see how things go.
Where do you wish to go, dear knight Firelight?
I love her attacks. They're just incredible. I'm so glad to have her. Look at that. I mean, look how it's just wiping all that stuff. She's so strong. That is ridiculous. And here I thought, like, I was always amazed by Aya Fiala when I first got her, but man, Read the Flame Shadow is just something special. Ceasefire! Watch out for civilians! They're getting away, Cohen! Don't bother with them. Protect the others. Someone come here. There are injured people here. Let's bring them inside. Doctor, are you okay? I'm here. I'm fine. My leg! My leg is broken! My leg! Calm down. Your leg is still here. It's just dislocated. Grit your teeth. Mama! Mama! Has anyone seen Algar's mother? Help me, please. We're running out of bandages. Those bastards. I'm just gonna say bastards, but usually profanity is probably F-bombs, so, you know, something to that effect. Is there a fire over there? Isn't the town center in that direction? Looks like this isn't the only place that was attacked. Why? Where did the Lord's guards go? Don't care about those guards or whatever anymore. There's sounds of fighting everywhere now, and it's only getting worse. We can't stay here, it's too wide open. Let's move those wounded behind this building for now. Monsters! The monsters have come again! Help! This is endless. Alexander, get on the roof and cover us. Understood. There's no time, Doctor. We need to leave this place. But where can we go? Let's go to your clinic. These infected. Don't worry too much about it. Let's get everyone to go to your clinic first. All right. Someone lend a hand. He can't walk anymore. Cuts, can you go and check if there's anyone else hiding in these houses? Let's get everyone here to the clinic. Stay safe. Understood. This is really a disaster. +40 people. Is everyone here? Yes. Everyone we've rescued is here. How many are we missing? Quite a number. Maybe they went to the other side of town. But some old ones, they didn't make it. Don't beat yourself up. It's not your fault. These monsters, where are they from? Are they trained beasts? I don't know. I've never seen anything like them before. When those thugs drew their weapons, these monsters began burrowing out of the ground. Who cares where they came from? How can there be so many of them? How's the surrounding situation? A big mess. The sounds of combat from the other side of town. I don't know what happened there. How much ammo do we have left? Not much. I only have 4 magazines left. If Alexander runs out of ammo, then we're in big trouble. Ammo isn't the biggest problem right now. This house isn't going to last much longer. Judging by those monsters' size, if we let even 1 or 2 escape, they will definitely smash through this wall and it'll be impossible to stop them then. We need a plan. Doctor, how are the patients doing? Many of them are wounded. I'm only able to do simple treatment. We're lacking bandages and disinfectants. Is there any way to leave the town for now? Where would we go after leaving town, while bringing so many with us? Without food and water, going under the wasteland means certain death. I don't think these monsters will give up on attacking us. If we get to the wastelands, we'll just be in a worse position without any cover or means of hiding ourselves. Besides, we've all witnessed their burrowing abilities. I know a place. It might be safe. There's a special building at the south side of town. It might be the safest place in town, barring the Lord's residence. Do elaborate. There was this medical organization called Rhodes Island which rented a piece of land at the edge of town. Later, they hired workers to dig a fair amount of soil and stone and build a very solid house there. It could be the strongest building around here. It looks just like a fortress. How do you know about this Rhodes Island? How do you know that this Rhodes Island would be willing to help us? There's only one watchman at the building and I know him. I purchased some medical supplies from him before. There's a lot of soil. Most likely they dug out a basement. Sounds like a safe house used by mercenaries. Doesn't sound reliable. Unless we have a better option, I suggest we take a look. Without food nor water, staying in this place is no different than waiting for death. That building is at the edge of town. We can head over from outside town to avoid being seen by others. Cuts, is your shield still usable? Half of it. I can use it to bash someone, probably. I need someone to go with me to help protect the doctor. I'll go. Worst comes to worst, I can always shield the doctor with my body. Don't talk crap. Cuts and I will go with the doctor to check out that safe house. Tina, you stay here with Alexander. Understood. Doctor, no matter what happens next, please follow my orders. Understood. Cuts, protect the doctor as well. I'll keep him safe. I don't see any lights. Is there no one here? Keep your distance. This building's door has been smashed. Even here. What are these thugs' goals? To rob and plunder like common bandits? Help! Help! Anyone help me! I don't want to die! Damn it! It's the watchman! Don't move and stay here. I'll go have a look. If only I didn't take this job. I don't want to die here. Who are you? Don't move, your leg's broken. Mercenaries, don't kill me. I beg you, don't kill me. I really don't know where the key is. I'm just a simple watchman. Please believe me. I really don't know. Calm down, I'm here to help. You're not together with those guys? Help me, help me! I said calm down. Cuts, bring the doctor. Mr. Ockfin, your leg. Oh, you're that infected doctor. Oh, thank heavens. Don't worry, let me have a look at your leg. Man, this place has been turned upside down. The insides look a lot smaller than the outside. Secret doors, hidden rooms, and fortified walls. Aren't all safe houses like that? What's this? Radio equipment. Looks completely destroyed, though. Such a large machine. Looks very retro. Turns out this world also had communications equipment like this. They even have cars, after all. It's not strange for them to have a radio. There were other broken electronics back at the rundown house we stayed at before, like the fridge, fans, a kettle, though none of them actually used electricity. Just like this wireless radio in that car we got. All these machines have a device filled with black crystals. I suppose that this is the energy source for these devices. Ouch, ouch, ouch! Please be gentler, Doctor. Please bear with it. Luckily, it's not very serious. The bone isn't broken. You're the person in charge of this place. This is Rhodes Island's branch office. I'm actually just a simple watchman. Let me guess. Those thugs came here and forced you to open the basement door, but you persisted in your duty and kept playing dumb, which resulted in you getting beaten up and left here to die? Something like that. Wait, how did you know there's a basement? You've been tricked. We're actually the thugs' backup, here to get you to confess everything. What? Cots! Don't get angry, I'm just trying to liven up the atmosphere. What are you actually planning to do? Don't worry, they're good people. They've been protecting the inhabitants of the infected zone all this while. The infected zone was attacked as well? It's messed up. What about the Lord's soldiers? Where are Lord Tola's soldiers? The Lord's soldiers still haven't appeared. They might be in trouble as well. Mr. Watchman, we need your help. But what can I do to help? I can't even stand up right now. The infected townsfolk have also been attacked, with many of them being injured and the buildings of the infected zone suffering heavy damages. We need you to open up the safe house and let them hide in there. In return, we will guarantee your safety. You can trust us. But based on the contract I signed with Rhodes Island, the entire safe house is the property of Rhodes Island. I don't have the authority. Infected. All right, let them come. Losing my job is better than losing my life. Thank you.
全ての勝利が私たちの行く道を照らす光になる。
Let's keep it going. We'll keep rolling on with OD-3. Guns. Mercenaries. What are you babbling about? I'm telling the truth, boss. They've got huge guns. They killed Jarman. Mercenaries with big guns. Are they Sancta? Are you telling me you blew your mission over 4 Sancta? I don't think they're Sancta, probably. They're not Sancta, but they're mercs carrying around big guns. If you're gonna lie to me, at least make it believable. He's telling the truth. What do you mean he's telling the truth? He's telling the truth. They were heavily armed, but they really weren't Sancta. Jarman took one in the brain, but I didn't see an arrow or a bolt. Sarkaz aren't that weak. These ones weren't part of your plan. Having to deal with a bunch of fully armed mercenaries was not in the contract, boss. We need a raise. And where are they now? They're not in the infected quarter anymore. Our men are looking for them, but we haven't seen any major movements. They should still be in the area. How's the old bastard doing? Your father's people are tough, especially that little sister of yours. We bumped off some of their fighters, but we haven't been able to breach the manor perimeter. Your scientists' monsters are doing good work out there, but your casters suck. We lost a lot of them already, without getting much for them. Those are already the best money can buy. Until your boss is willing to send us a caster, you're in no position to complain. Then get your scientists to cook up some more monsters. Or change tactics. That mansion is a fortress, and a direct attack isn't going to work. It's not like your sister is an easy target either. What about the old bastard himself? Is he still holed up in the house? I haven't seen your father yet. No sign of him at all since we showed up. Ha ha ha. I knew it. I knew something happened to him. Keep watching the manor. Tell me as soon as you've got news. What about the change our tactics part? You're getting ahead of yourself. Call it a Sarkaz mercenary's intuition. The longer you drag things out, the more chances they have to go wrong. I have a contingency plan. I just need time to put it together. Confident as I am in the results of my experiments, the look on your face tells me you don't share my assessment. Come, tell me, where have things gone wrong this time? I need progress from you. Would you like to offer something a little more constructive, or is your pointless kneeling all you have? I gave you enough corpses. I need at least 20 monsters. Originiutants. What? These monsters are Originiutants. They have a name. Mutants. Originiutants. Why should I care what they're called? Give me more monsters. I gave you so many already. Did you get them all killed so quickly? I'm curious. How are your minions using the Originiutants? Do they rely on your Originium arts? What is it exactly? Superpowers? Occult mysticism? Magic? Where does it come from? Come, satisfy my curiosity. I must speak with your casters. Just do your job, egghead. You don't need to be thinking about Originium arts right now. Once we're done here, you'll have plenty of time for your own research. I have very little confidence in your project. But speaking of time, did I not tell you? Yours is in fact limited. What are you talking about? The lifespan of these origin mutants won't exceed 1 week. Whatever it is you have to do, you'll have to do it quickly. What are you trying to pull? This is the price for your lack of patience. You want the origin mutants produced quickly, you want them tremendously powerful, and at the same time you want them to have no weaknesses. You truly believe such a thing is possible. I told you, no tricks, egghead. I'm busy. I have no time to joke with you. If you are so dissatisfied with my work, I suggest you take matters into your own hands. Use your own ingenuity to solve these genetic engineering complications that I, as a professional, can't solve in so little time. Of course, you could bring me more materials, give me more time, and make your own contributions to this vapid family drama you're putting on. Science is fair. You always have a choice. That's enough of your slippery talking. Get back to work, egghead. Don't expect any mercy out of me if you fail. The price of failure is a slow and miserable death. I'm a man of my word. Ha ha ha! When you put it like that, what else can I say? Good luck, my friend. Drudge. What a name. There's so much smoke and chaos. Don't even need to get close to know what's going on. Never expected a riot of this scale here. Butting our horns is sure to cause problems. I'm back. Oh? What's the situation? It's out of control. There's constant fighting around a mansion on the north side of town. Looks like mercenaries on one side. Things are even worse outside the manor. Bloodstains and collapsing houses everywhere. There's infected sand beasts scurrying through the alleyways, and there's a lot of them. If it's gotten that bad, where's the Sargon military? The Lord Emir's forces? There are some armed guards in that manor on the north side, but I didn't see any other Sargon soldiers. So it's been like this for 2 days. Then I wonder if the watchman at the safe house is okay. It doesn't look good. Let's not jump to conclusions. In other news, I found the safe house. Some people have taken up guarding it, but they're not Rhodes Island personnel. It's been occupied by the mercenaries? No, not exactly. They don't look like typical mercs. Their defensive positioning is extremely specialized. They have ambush kill zones, traps, and decoys all set up. Most importantly, they've got a lot of townsfolk in that safe house. Townsfolk? Just what kind of people do they have guarding the safe house? They look pretty much like you. They've got guns. Guns? Blacksteel mercenaries? They don't have any obvious markings on them. I can't say for sure they're Blacksteel. Armed professionals stripped of any identifying markings, with guns. Oof, my head hurts. There are a lot of forces at work in this town. We can roll out a bandit raid. And if the Lord Emir's forces are missing, it's not an act of war. The situation here, far more complicated than I thought.
If they're willing to protect civilians in the middle of a riot, they can't exactly be evil. Maybe we should try to make contact.
Let's be careful. There are a lot of possibilities here, even if we just look at them protecting the townsfolk. I just hope they're the type you can reason with.
What's the situation?
No good. I can't make sense of it. This thing looks like a circuit board, but it's totally different from any circuit I've ever seen. If you gave me a month and technical manual, I'm not sure I could figure it out. Screw it. I'm going to stand guard upstairs. I've been squatting so long my back's sore.
Good hustle, Lord. No good? None of us have ever seen anything like the tech inside this comms equipment. I don't think we're going to be able to get it working. You wouldn't know it from the outside. It looks like your typical transmitter. Just like with the van back there, the energy they used in this world is unique. All their technology is based on this stuff called Originium. You're still studying that communicator, huh? Originium comms equipment uses some really complicated tech. Rhodes Island has always had some had to send engineering casters out to maintain it. I'm not surprised you can't fix it. You said before they used this device to send out a distress signal? Oh, I'm not sure if the signal actually got through. When the rioters attacked the safe house, I hit the communicator as quickly as I could, but they broke in before I got to talk to anyone. Everything happened so fast I could barely speak.
It could be the Rhodes Island operator who took the call couldn't even hear me. So the cavalry isn't coming. I was never waiting for the cavalry. You don't look worried at all. I could say we're pretty used to fighting without backup. Wow. I'm thinking if you had shown up just a little later, I'd be spending the rest of my life in a wheelchair. Or maybe a coffin. All I could say is thanks. Not necessary. You've done a lot to help the civilians yourself. Well, I wouldn't make a big deal out of that. Treating the infected is kind of Rhodes Island's business. Even if I'm just a reserve logistics operator serving as a doorman. Treating? Does that mean there's medical supplies here? What are these weapons for? Oh, well, Rhodes Island is mainly a pharmaceutical company, but this safe house doesn't actually offer any treatment services. Safe houses are mostly to provide combat operators with supplies, equipment, weapons, and stuff when they're out on missions. Right. Hold on, what's this? Is this a grenade launcher? Grenade? Let me see. Oh my. Is this a landmine? Oh, and you've got all kinds. I thought the people here didn't use thermal weapons. The structure of this grenade launcher is a little strange. There's no propellant charge for the grenades. Does it use compressed gas? Look, here's a model using hydraulic springs. Be careful, that box is full of originium explosives. It's dangerous. Mr. Okfin, do you have ammunition for small arms here? Small arms? Do you mean guns? Oh, yeah, are you asking about etched ammo? We wouldn't usually have anything that valuable in a safe house like this. Rhodes Island combat personnel rarely use guns. Can we use these explosives? Just be careful. Originium explosives are very dangerous. They used to be only be for combat operators, but you look like you know what you're doing. I won't stop you. Thank you very much. What about these? What are these wild-looking parts for? Backup casting units. Don't break them. Casting units? Must be for that Originium Arts stuff. Originium Arts is the technique that lets them throw those fireballs. We're getting into the weeds here. I'm no caster, but Originium Arts comes in all kinds of flavors. Every caster has his own specialty. Would the engineering casters you mentioned before be one of those? Huh? Have you never seen arts before? Well, we haven't seen much. But how? You've got guns, aren't you casters? A gun user who can't use Originium Arts? Now that's rare. Oh, Mr. Okfin, your leg hasn't healed yet. I don't want you walking around. I'm fine. I've got my crutches. I can walk a few steps. Doctor, how are the patients doing down there? I've got most of the wounded stabilized thanks to the medical supplies here. You don't look so hot. Are you okay? I just haven't slept at all. I'll be fine. You need rest. We'll be in big trouble if we lose our only doctor. Don't worry, I'll be careful. Speaking of Originium Arts, don't they have some kind of magic where you say a spooky incantation and there's a big flash of light and presto, you're all healed up? What are you talking about? No? Then? No then? What about like a healing potion that you drink and all your wounds close right up? None of that either? That's the stuff of sci-fi novels. There are arts that can heal wounds, but they're a very difficult type of arts to master. But before you can master healing arts, you first have to have a complete understanding of medical science. You have to know the anatomical structures of all the different races, things like that. Also, most healing arts users can only stop bleeding or speed up wound recovery. These arts are very useful on the operating table, but in my experience, they're no substitute for real medical skill. Doctor, can you use arts? I have a little knowledge, not very useful though. That's boringly realistic. To think a world with magic could be so inconvenient. Hold up, did you just say sci-fi novels? Now I'm extra curious what your world's sci-fi novels talk about. Would we find a bookstore in a bigger city? Maybe some history books too? Are books expensive? I've got myself all worked up now. You're a weird bunch. Where are you from anyway? Colombia? Victoria? You talk like you're Victorians, but from a couple of decades ago. Well, I'm not really sure how to answer that one. Miss Cohen and her friends came from very far away, from a place where oropathy doesn't even exist. What? Yeah, that. A country with no oropathy? Really? No oropathy, no infected. That means no discrimination. A place with no hatred where everyone's equal? Lordy Lou, what kind of paradise is that? Alright then, your faces say it, just say it all. Just pretend I never asked. under attack! Sit rep! This is just the first wave. They have us surrounded. They were probing us with those earlier strikes. We've got more incoming. Your traps? All good. Watch your explosives. Blitz, keep an eye on the left flank. Don't let them get the drop on us. Understood. Lord, conserve your ammo. No problem. Let them come. Watch for surprise attacks. Let's see what they've got. Here they come. Hold your fire. Let them get a little closer. 9 o'clock. Lord, the enemy's up, dead ahead. Enemy down. These big guys with the horns are tough. Go for headshots. Ash, over there. What is that? Lord, be careful. Alexander. I'm okay. Don't worry about me. Hold the line. What on earth is this? Watch out for those mutants. Light cover's no good. That's a proper formation. Those four know what they're doing. Sounds like gunfire. No, those are more intense shots. That's a big rapid-fire gun. They're surrounded. It's the same mercenaries who were attacking the manor. Those monsters remind me of what we saw in Lungman. The host and the herd. But they're not really the same. Mercenaries carrying big guns and mercenaries commanding mysterious monsters. The situation is changing and the balance is about to break. What do we do? Don't hesitate. Prepare for battle. Those vile beings who drivvy this kind of monsters into battle deserve not a single bit of mercy. Roger. Here we go. Number 3. Okay. Let them come a little closer. What's your plan? I found a high explosive device in the safe house cache. This fella feels like he could blow us sky high. It's got a big blast radius. Not only can it take out the enemies in that radius, it'll also clear the dirt mounds to open up space. But it's not too easy to fire up. After you deploy it, there's an arming process, so you have to make sure the enemy doesn't break it before it's armed. It's risky, but we've got no other choice. Once the bomb is finished deploying, we can detonate it at any time. Choose a good place to set up the big guy, and don't give the enemy a chance. Roger. Yeah, that's right. So we deploy that. Okay.
It is your tyrannies that fuel this flame. Let me create a diversion.
Laying out the welcome mat.
Don't make this harder than it needs to be.
Okay. So it's armed. That's ready.
This hunt has dragged on for too long.
These guys are
Welcome
weird.
set.
Okay. Whoa! Stop! What are you doing? Okay. We're going to put her. Yeah, we'll put Reed that way.
Struggle, but you won't get away.
Odd.
A valiant struggle.
Can use
but
these
you won't get
traps,
away.
which are good, but put Iafyala there as backup. And I need somebody up here too. Put Ramia there. Slow it down a little bit because
I'm all stocked up. Clear.
oh my. Oh my. Okay. Dude, we just lost her. Okay, that's all right. It's all right. Let's put
Where do you wish to go? Your lives now ignited.
It's okay. We're all right. We're all right.
War.
Deployed.
We kind of use her here, and if we get her thing up enough, we'll be all right. We're gonna put trap there.
If you're really incapable of branch and bone bear weeds, mounds and ruins.
Temperature stable.
Solid position.
We're gonna put her there for now.
Deployed.
Oh, that's it. So I don't really need that. Cool. If everybody healed, we just have this guy then. How about Degenbreaker? You have some fun. You go do something else.
Let's put an end to this show.
Boom. Let's go. We only needed one of those bombs. Sweet. All right. Thunderbolt. Ah, my eyes! We're the casters. Take out that Voiver. Don't even think about it. What's happening? There's more of them. How? We're in a bad way. They've got way too much firepower. Cut our losses and fall back before this gets any worse. I see you. Sniper! Shit, where? Forget it, just run! You're not getting away. Ugh. Fall back, quickly, just run! They're running. Sit rep. You okay, Alexander? Yeah, just a flesh wound. Excuse me, those guys are learning. Don't let your guard down. We still got company. That's close enough, friend. I appreciate the help, but let's keep a comfy distance until we figure things out. Relax, we mean you no harm. We're a Rhodes Island field team, and you're holed up in a Rhodes Island safe house. We're responding to a distress call. Please identify yourselves. Calm down, I'm here to help. It's the Rhodes Islanders. Hey, the cavalry came after all. Go get Mr. Ockfin. Got it. Rhodes Island operator. Hooray, we're saved, we're saved! That's funny. That's about the size of it. So those 4 mercenaries are the ones who set up these temporary defenses. I'm really sorry. They broke my communicator and I couldn't protect the safe house. I wouldn't blame you if you fired me on the spot. Don't worry, this old man doesn't have the power to fire anybody. And the way I see it, you held out this long all by yourself. That's pretty fantastic. If it weren't for you, these infected would have met a much worse fate. How many are they? Counting the doctor outside, 43, all infected. And the 4 mercenaries were protecting them all this time? Mercenaries going out of their way to look after infected. That's something you don't see every day. Mercenaries who not only don't they look down on them, but actively try to help them. Maybe I'm being too paranoid, but where did these saints come from? I think they may not realize. From the way they talk, I get the impression they were just protecting ordinary, innocent townsfolk. I guess it's less that they don't discriminate against the infected, and more that they don't care about or empathy. But they don't look infected at all. I've never seen mercenaries like them. I've never heard of any Team Rainbow. They've got guns, but none of them look like Sancta. Unless the Sancta figured out a way to hide their fluorescent lamps. A non-Sancta mercenary group fully decked out with big guns like that is going to be huge news. Blacksteel R&D would go nuts if they heard about this. Let's not talk about them like they're not here. Regardless, they saved a Rhodes Island operator and protected a bunch of infected. Until we have some evidence, we shouldn't be doubting their motives. Our top priority is finding a solution to our predicament. Let's talk to them. They've been in here for a while now. What do you think of this Rhodes Island? I've been wondering about them. What kind of pharmaceutical company needs a safe house full of military-grade hardware out on the edge of civilization? They've got enough arms and explosives to outfit a platoon. And the employees of this pharmaceutical company all look like professional soldiers. Either this world's doctors are armed to the teeth or the pharmaceutical business is a front. Probably both. They're armed, but they look well-trained and well-spoken. It's a night and day difference with the thugs we ran into before. Also, maybe it's just me, but I get a real familiar vibe from them. You know, I got that too. They're reasonable, civilized people at least. Everything I saw before had me thinking this world was an apocalyptic bandit-ridden hellscape. I'm finished binding your wound, Mr. Alexander.
Thanks, Doctor.
Doctor, are you familiar with this Rhodes Island organization? I've heard a bit from the caravans. They're a group that specializes in a critical care for the infected, as well as an oropathies research team.
But this isn't it an incurable disease?
Yes. Or actually, there used to be a lot of people who claimed to be able to cure oropathy. They were mostly shysters who ended up ruined with their scams when their scams were exposed. As for those who just exaggerated the effectiveness of their drugs suppressing the symptoms of oropathy, they might not reach the level of fraud yet, but even their suppressant drugs are very expensive.
I'd guess so.
I once heard about a lord whose daughter contracted oropathy, and he spent a lot of money to buy the suppressants from Colombia to save his daughter. Years later, the lord's money dried up and his daughter died of the disease. But look at this.
What is it?
This is the safe house's store of oropathy suppressants. These past few days, I injected some of the more serious sufferers with this, and it really did suppress their symptoms. It works better than any drug I've ever seen before. This medicine must be insanely expensive, no? But Mr. Ockfin wasn't concerned with that at all. When I told him some of my patients were in critical condition, he gave me the box. It's not that I don't believe there are good people in this world, but... Hey, I didn't expect that. Don't overthink it. Suspicion is costly. Whether you show it or not, it's going to get in the way of our talks with them. It looks like our goals are aligned, so we could just lay this stuff on the table.
If you say so. Oh, they're here. Sorry to keep you waiting. Now let's skip the pleasantries. Thank you for saving Ockfin. Without you, Rhodes Island would have lost a good worker. When the mission is over, I'll make a full report and Rhodes Island will remunerate you appropriately. Remunerate you appropriately and compensate you for your supplies.
Remuneration?
Remuneration is nice.
I have no idea if I'm saying that word correctly.
Also, you put your lives on the line for the infected, and that wins this old man's admiration.
These townsfolk have done a lot for us in our time here. Leaving them to die wouldn't be our style. So you're mercenaries?
No, we're... Yes, we are. We're mercenaries, the super expensive kind.
Can you give us the name of your company? Mercenaries like you are a rare breed.
Help me think of a name. Polar Bear Logistics?
I understand if you're not in a position to say. We're from a faraway country in the south.
That's right, we're from way down south.
The south?
South of Sargon. Beyond the Foan Hotlands?
Foan? Yes, the south. Right.
There's other countries beyond the Foan Hotlands? That's shocking. I've lived a long time, and this is the first I've heard of people down there. In all the records of the Lords of Mir, there's never been a single report of someone crossing the Hotlands. You could have made your story a little more plausible.
Plausible like Polar Bear Logistics?
Anyways, warriors with Ursine and Victorian accent, doesn't matter where you come from. You're willing to fight for the infected, and at least on that point, our interests are aligned. At least for now, we can work together to deal with this situation.
I can agree with that.
So, who can tell us what the heck happened to this town?
Sarkez mercenary. Controlling the monsters should be casters. They're organized, disciplined, and most importantly, they know when to cut their losses and back down. They're not here for a quick raid. They're all properly geared up with Colombian equipment. Some of them were extremely tough back when they sieged the safe house. Judging from the equipments and tactics, they should be professional mercenaries who signed the Red Mark contract.
I'm afraid it's a rebellion against the local lord.
But why are they attacking civilians? They chased us here from the infected quarter. What on earth do these mercs actually want? The most likely answer is they wanted to silence you.
I'm afraid that's not the only thing they were after.
What do you mean?
When they attacked the infected quarter yesterday, they were obviously targeting the sick.
They were trying to round them up. I'm pretty sure that was their goal. Kidnapping infected? That doesn't make any sense. The enemy's objective are a mystery to us, but that's not the most important thing. For now, the best thing we can do is wait. Wait? You may not realize it, but we're standing in the middle of a fait accompli. We walked into this Lord Emir's territory without his permission, violating his commandments and the local laws. We've broken a major Sargon taboo. The town nobility may be in the middle of a war, but they're still rulers. They're still the rulers here. Sticking our noses in anything else at this point would only make our situation even worse. The local lord set up an infected quarter. That tells us he's not totally cruel and heartless. He was willing to let Rhodes Island build a safe house here. That means he's not an isolationist. I think he'll treat us fairly. National law, local government, I get it. That's the best we can hope for right now. Until the situation changes again, we'll hold out in the safe house and wait for the riots to die down. I hope you can help us. No problem. We need Rhodes Island's professional expertise too. All right then. I'm looking forward to working with the four of you.
Looking after everyone's health is my
Let's get one more in and then take a break. That'll put us halfway through. This one starts, I believe, without any... Yep. Awesome. I got this far on my other account.
Direct memory access for application map. And enemy coordinates authorized. Please stand by.
Okay, I believe I went all three directions here.
Let me create a diversion.
That was bad. Bad. Alright, so before I work on the repairs, I need to get a deployment. And maybe I do what's-his-face first. Yeah, let's try that. I think I put Mulesies out first on my other account, so yeah. Maybe put him out.
Remember, our purpose is not violence itself, but rather the victory it brings. Let's put an end to this show. Pronto.
Good, okay. And then we get that side, and we're good.
This hunt has dragged on for too long.
Let me create a diversion.
Now we have this whole area that we can deploy in and keep it safe. We use her here, and she'll heal this whole area. We can put Reed here. Face upward, and she'll cover this whole area. Fiala will face that way.
I wasn't supposed to. I'll plant you into the soil to grow anew.
All the best.
There we go. Run like this. If I need to put any more melee out, I will.
A valiant struggle, but you won't get away.
We'll put that out. Put Amiya out, so that way we have double casting going on there.
This hunt has dragged on for too long.
Tactical support system online.
Okay. It's working well so far. Beautiful.
I wasn't supposed to. I'll plant you into the soil to grow anew.
A valiant struggle.
Choose her.
Please give your orders, Professor.
Get ready for Aya.
Please give your
Use
orders.
her.
Stable.
Done. Let's go. Easy enough. OD-4. That is complete. So, it's break time.
All right, guys, let's go ahead and pick up where we left off with OD-5. Let's get started. You can do it, Lord. Almost, just a little more. And it's up. Well done. Yes, it's very impressive you can pull back this crossbow with your bare hands. Ew. What a design. You couldn't tell by looking at it that this crossbow has such tensile strength. It's a pretty ordinary crossbow. Most Sarkaz can lock it barehanded. A heavy crossbow with this kind of power. At least that 100 meters, it won't be different from a gun. It's just too much work. And I already learned the hard way that bit about our physical differences. That sappy girl over there might be no weaker than me. Are you talking about Liskarm? She's a Voiver. They're a strong race, for sure. Right. Why the sudden interest in these weapons? We're expecting a lot of fights soon, so it's time to think about what to do when we run out of ammo. Without bullets, my gun might as well be a paperweight. I don't think we could take them hand to hand when it comes to that, and our training and experience won't be enough either. How much do we have left? Not much over here. Not even 400 rounds. Let me show you something. Is this a bullet? It's a bullet that Rhodes Islander named Liskarm uses. They call it an etched bullet, and it's apparently an extremely expensive commodity. Did you take it apart yet? What's it made of? What's the propellant? This chunk of crystal. Looks like an energy source. Is that a propellant or a warhead? A Laterano gunsmith once told me that every single etched bullet contains a miniature casting unit that matches up with the structure of a Laterano gun. That means it's not only the gun, but every etched bullet is basically a caster's staff. That's why they're so expensive, and why they need such complicated arts that only Sancta can make much use of them. Other peoples go with easier ranged weapons. So Laterano is the name of the country, Sancta is the name of the race. Laterano people are not necessarily Sancta. Got it. But that's real bad news about the bullets. Do we have any gun here that doesn't require those Originium arts to work? I've never heard about those firearms that don't need Originium arts. One step at a time. At least everybody can use explosives. Where did Kots go with them? They're in the basement, still trying to fix that thing that looks like a radio transmitter. Can't power the comcasting unit. It's a power problem? Maybe. I'll have to see. Okay, you all take a step back. The valedictorian is about to do her stuff. Charging. Whoa, ho, ho! Was that arts? It was pretty cool. It definitely leaves an impression. Is it working? It's on. Ooh, I'm thirsty today. Great work. That's my walking power supply. Don't you have anything better to do than annoy me? No good. It's still not connecting. The crystal electronics unit may be too damaged, or there may be some damage somewhere else in the circuit we can't see with the naked eye. We don't have any equipment for repairing Originium circuits here, so we can't troubleshoot. Sounds pretty hopeless. Can ordinary people do these Originium arts too? Theoretically, almost anyone can learn to do arts at some level, even with enough training. It's just that studying arts takes time and effort, and that gets tied up pretty close with talent. Lots of people master only the most basic arts, even after pushing themselves a lot harder than others. I'm a dumb old man and I've never learned any Originium arts. What are you thinking? Nothing, just brainstorming about our situation here. Some wild and practical ideas. All right, Mr. Kots, take a look at this shield here. What's that on the shield? I installed a high-powered spotlight with the universal Originium circuit based on the original design and function of your shield. It should work just like you're used to. Thanks a bundle! Oh, but I can't use Originium arts. Strictly speaking, a universal Originium circuit is a piece of modern technology that lets people who don't know how to use arts use it anyway. It is loaded with a few simple Originium arts. Of course, the power supply and equipment maintenance still need to be carried out by a trained caster.
All right, let's see. It's still pretty heavy. Turn it on, hit the switch. All good, I'll give it a try. Wow, it really works. But it'll take some getting used to. I haven't done a shield charge in 6 months. I've almost forgotten how to use the thing. How are things looking outside? The last attack was also the last enemy movement. We haven't seen any probing strikes since. I don't think that's a good sign, especially considering what a well-organized bunch of punks they are. I've got a bad feeling about this. Calm before the storm. Sure enough. Where's the doctor? Resting. He hasn't slept in days. Give the kid a break. He shouldn't have to deal with all this at his age, and we've got another problem on our hands. Running out of food. Right. Mr. Ockfin told us. What are you thinking? I'm thinking whether or not we should take a trip back to the infected quarter. I get you. Oh, you have a plan. We left in a hurry. A lot of sick people didn't have time to bring their food from home. True. We have enough hands here. We could send some people out to get supplies. Then let's save our talk here. We should be able to get there before night falls.
Okay.
We can take care of ourselves, Professor.
Okay.
You just focus on giving orders. Follow me! Apple pie!
Anything outside the plan? I'll judge for myself. A valiant struggle, but you won't get away.
Beautiful that she can handle that. Let's get Reed out over here.
Please.
And then we'll
Trust
put
in me.
Ifeola there, maybe?
And what purpose
Ooh,
do you
excuse me.
think your sacrifice will serve?
All the best.
Spring breeze, timely rain. Now we sow the grain.
I'm prepared. This endless burn. You needn't there.
This hunt has dragged on.
This may be a little hot.
光がこの地を守り抜く。
If you're really incapable of sow the mountains when summer leaves a white dew. Seed the plains when equinox
Boom,
paints
boom,
russet hue.
boom. He's done. Awesome. It's not bad. Doggo's gonna take some damage here.
Got it.
I think we're pretty heavy caster-wise down here, so we'll use Ami up top. Cover since this guy's gonna just continuously go down.
I'm prepared to fight.
Pretty decent flow of enemies here. We're not doing too bad.
I am Dublin.
You can go do something else.
Let her there.
You want my opinion?
Spooky handle that one.
Professor, this may be a little hot.
I'll plunge
Oh,
you into the
we're done.
soil to
All right.
grow anew.
Simple enough. Yeah, let's go. Anything? Got something. It's not much, but it's something. Good work. These provisions, along with the emergency store in the safe house, should keep us fed for a week if we stretch it. It's getting late. Let's head back. Someone's coming. How many? A dozen, maybe. Could be mercenaries. Hurry back to the safe house. Are they still on us? Yes. That's not good. I knew they wouldn't let up. We're bound to get sieged if we choose to fight here. Keep retreating.
What happened? We've got company. Get ready to fight. Something's not right. Hold your fire. Why? It's not those mercenaries. They're Reproba soldiers. Local guards. Hold fire. Guards, surround the structure. Don't let anyone escape. Wait a second. Are we surrounded? This isn't good. Why are the Lord's men encircling us? Let's have you quiet down for now. I want all of you inside to listen up. I am the captain of the Long Spring Village Guard, daughter of the Lord of Long Spring, Pikale Tula. I want you to lay down all your weapons and come out nice and easy. Don't test my patience. You'll regret it. The imposing Reproba warrior strikes the halberd into the ground with all her might, and the earth starts to tremble instantly. Mercenaries! It's always mercenaries! You shameless, faithless, virtueless bastards! How much gold did my evil brother give you? You won't get away. I'll crush you. I'll stomp you into dust. I'll make you pay for everything you've done. Once I cut you down, you'll finally understand that no amount of blood money can buy you another life. Oh, are you sure they're here to help? I think they'd rather hang us from the town gate. That's what I'm afraid of. There's definitely a misunderstanding here. Lady Pikale, I'm a field operator with Rhodes Island, codename Rangers. I'm pretty sure Rhodes Island signed a cooperation agreement with your family. Shut up! Rhodes Island, sanctimonious hypocrites! My father trusted you. He believed your promises. That's why he agreed to your safe house. And how did you repay him? You kidnapped our people. Robbed them of everything they had. I saw it! You're a bunch of treacherous villains. If you think for a single second you'll know that doesn't make any sense. If we wanted to pillage the town, why would we still be here? Try to talk your way out of this. And who the hell are you? You're standing on my father's land with your guns and you dare to argue with me? If you're so tough, where have you been all this time? You and the Lord's men let those thugs raid the quarantine zone, so we had to risk our lives to save the townsfolk there. What were your precious guardsmen doing then? And you still think you could come here and talk a big game with us? Settle down. She doesn't seem like the type you could reason with. Lady Pikale, I'm Dr. Miyaro from the Infected Quarter. We've met before. Right, I know you. Rhodes Island didn't rob the infected. I can testify to that. We were forced here by riots. And it's not just me. Any of the infected here will tell you that. Lady Pikale, I need you to trust me. I trust you, Doctor. Many people speak highly of you. Thank you, Lady Pikale. But I don't trust them. The imposing daughter of the Lord points forward with her colossal halberd. It is a grave infraction to enter my father's territory, armed without permission. In light of you protecting my father's subjects, I will pardon you for that infraction. As for Rhodes Island, the contract you signed with my father is, as of today, null and void. Please reconsider. There is nothing to discuss. Long Spring does not need armed foreigners, not even Rhodes Islanders. I will gather up the infected and take them where they belong. We don't need you getting involved. But, alright, don't speak. Do not defy the local lord. We are standing here at Sargon. We are standing here at Sargon as Rhodes Island operators. "41, 42... Any others? That's all? No problem. We'll get you to safety." Miss Cohen, Mr. Alexander, thank you for all that you've done. No need. We should be thanking you. Where are you going to go? Not sure yet. Let's not make it sound so sad. Maybe we'll meet again someday. I'll have to tell you about it next time. Huh. The story of the dog-headed man. All right. Doctor, this is for you. It's an Originium ingot. But I can't. Remuneration. Brokfan's leg. That was just some basic first aid. It's not worth this much. I think it's worth it. Take it. Thanks, Mr. Rangers. And thank you all. Goodbye. Something's off. I know. We thought caution was the right move, but we ended up with a big misunderstanding. Who would have thought the captain of the guard would be so difficult? A muscle-headed moron. We got enough of those at BSW. So what do? They seized pretty much everything from the safe house. At least we're all unharmed. That's what really matters. Come with us, Mr. Ockfin. We'll sign you in at a branch office, then contact the landship to figure out what to do. And that's really our only option. I'm not so sure. What do you mean? That Picale woman, could she be the one behind all this? That lord was so slow to act, even all the mercenaries were rounding up the infected. And now we've got Captain of the Guard, taking everyone away all nice and legally. This can't just be a coincidence. That does make sense. I'm going to tail them and see. I'm going too. No more hands are more easily seen. Or no, more hands are more easily seen. The rest of you stand by. What's the matter? I thought you wouldn't agree with this plan. Avoiding conflicts with the local lord doesn't mean our hands are tied here. We need to play the score. Sometimes you need a few tricks to get things working. I see. Get them all to shelter first, then I want 3 with me. I think there's something happening in the mines. Understood. Is there enough room left in the shelter? Not really. Half the town's population is already inside. Tell them to move upstairs if necessary. They can have my father's room. Is this really necessary? I don't see anything wrong with it. My father will do the same. My father would do the same should he lived. I see. Don't let your guard down anyway. Wait, did the lights go out as soon as we left? I don't remember. Out of the way! Uh-oh. Ah! Oh, that was Originium. I saw that. We're under attack! Protect the civilians! Where did they come from? What are you waiting for? Get ready to break through! There's too many of them. Take the civilians and get out of here. I'm breaking off. Come on, you cowardly bandits. Phew, how many was that? Finally. Lady Picale! Doctor, what are you doing here? Don't go! The Lord's Manor has already been... There! Judge! Get the hell out of here! I'm going to chop your goddamn head off! As you ever were, dear sister. You disgusting! I have to kill you! Show me what you've got. As the imposing Reproba charges at her brother with shocking speed, she realizes it. She's fallen right into a trap. Under the cover of night, behind the crumbling houses, a machine rumbles. In 1 second, she feels herself struck dizzy by a ferocious blow, as if slammed right in the face by a boulder launched from a catapult. In the next second, she falls unconscious.
Slice them up like a millefeuille. How do you like it?
Alright, so I am on a little bit of a time crunch, unfortunately. So I have got to go through and finish the stages, and we'll have to come back another time and finish up the dialogue. Now, I don't know if I will have that completed before the end of the event, but since I am going to leave tomorrow, actually in just a few hours here, I have to leave on a trip, and I'm going to be driving a long distance, so I need to get a little bit of sleep before I do that. I'm going to finish up the stages here,
And then we'll put the last story bits for OD6, 7, 8, and then the 2 in-betweens after at the end of the video. So you guys can see the narration for that when I'm back from my trip. I'll get that done for you. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and do the stages. Before we do that, let's go collect our stuff here. Need to collect these. Get Tachanka.
Rainbow operator codename Tachanka. I am ready. Where do you want me?
Okay. So we got him. I'm trying to do my daily logins at the same time for my other game, my other account. All right, OD-6. Let's see. Let's go ahead and do this.
Remember, our purpose is not violence itself, but rather the victory it brings.
Can't remember what to do here.
Anything outside the plan, I'll judge for myself.
Let them attack him just for
A
fun.
valiant struggle, but you won't get away.
All the best.
Put her here.
Professor? Please give your orders past that. Rock and roll!
No knives unless
This hunt has dragged on for too long.
I don't know if I'm doing this right. I'm probably not, but
spring breeze.
Up there for
tiny
heals.
rain. Now we sow the grain of this endless burn. You needn't fear.
beautiful.
This hunt has dragged on for too long.
Ah, see, yeah, because now it changes.
I wasn't supposed to act. Sow the mountains when summer leaves a white dew. Seed the plains when equinox paints russet hue.
And what purpose do you think your sacrifice will serve?
How soon do you want them gone?
I'll probably lose her eventually, which is fine, but
Still mulling things over. Emotion is meaningless here.
I'll let her take out all them.
You want my opinion?
Can't do anything with her. Probably lose her. Now they're safe there. Which if need be, I can just do one of these numbers.
Got it.
Let's put an end to this show. Pronto.
but we're getting close to the end, so this last wave we might be able to handle pretty well.
Let's put an end to this show. Pronto. Ready to move.
I wasn't supposed to branch and bone bare weeds. Mounds and ruins bloom fields.
Please give your orders past that. I'm prepared for lives. Now, united.
Oh my, stacking them, that's just ridiculous.
How soon do you want them gone?
Show me what you got.
Let's let her block there for me for a minute.
Arch unit charging.
You know what? We shouldn't need that. Okay. Texas, you bug this guy for a moment.
Awaiting orders. Cut them
Boom.
to pieces.
Let's put an end to this show. Pronto.
Okay, he done. We got it. Okay.
Your logical deduction was absolutely correct. What a perfect calculation.
All right, skip this. Like that song. Like all the music in this game. All right. 7. Let's see how this one works. Ooh.
Good. I suppose you've already got a plan.
Follow me!
Look, Susie, hey, what are you doing?
Then please do your bestest job, or I'll be really bored.
It wasn't really Xuzie's fault, but
Awaiting orders.
Don't make this harder than it needs to be.
the doggo there.
And what purpose do you think your
We get that
sacrifice will
taken care
serve?
of.
Your lives are mine to protect.
This hunt has dragged on for too long.
Alright, so we need this guy there.
And what purpose do you think your sacrifice will serve?
All the best. Where do you wish to find Babel?
I think we're gonna try that one there. Because then I can put people here too. Which means Shu can go out here.
War. A word I've not heard in a long, long time.
Like a Baramia facing that way, maybe. Not bad so far.
I wasn't supposed to act. Clear skies for teaming, rain clouds for Guru.
Roger.
Chi morirà qui oggi?
Please give your orders.
What is that thing? Oh, blow it up! Blow it up, blow it up, blow it up. Okay. Wow. All right. Glad I blew it up.
Do you want them gone?
Where do you wish to go? Your lives now ignited.
Yeah, wow. Excuse me. Oh no, there's another one. I don't like that. And I can't put her out. I don't like this. Let's use that.
Sow the mountains when summer leaves a white dew. Seed the plains when equinox paints russet hue.
I know what you're thinking. Professor?
Alright, Reed, get ready.
Let's put an end to this show. Pronto.
Where do you wish to go? The firelight.
Not bad.
Your logical deduction was absolutely correct. What a perfect calculation.
Okay. OD-8. Should be boss time. Infiltration battle.
Let's go! Take them all by
What
storm!
the hell is that thing? Looks like some kind of infected creature, but its body's entirely originium. Maybe it's not really alive. Geiger counter's clicking. That thing's giving off radiation. Hold on, keep splitting. Is this product of science Levi was talking about? No matter what, can't let that thing get out of this lab. Keep it busy. I'll plant.
Qui oggi.
Draw swords.
Oh man. Okay, I screwed up. Alright, let's not worry about the bombs first.
I may have underestimated this operation.
I don't like what I just did. It wasn't good. It was not a good thing. That is alright though.
We can take care of ourselves, Professor. You just focus on giving orders.
I saw that already.
Incoming. Get ready, everyone. Follow me.
Nope. Okay. So I've got to get...
A fatal error occurred during the operation. Reboot the system to proceed.
Okay. How do we get her to cover all of that?
Operation commencing.
Ooh, you know what? I know exactly what to do.
It is your tyranny.
13, 14. Okay, let's put him and him.
And what purpose do you think your sacrifice will serve?
Follow me. Your lives are mine to protect.
A valiant struggle, but you won't get
Whoa,
away.
whoa, whoa, whoa. We lost somebody somewhere. Oh, they went right down there.
I'm fine. Get it together, everyone.
Okay. Maybe we get Texas out down below. I like what I did with Exusier, but maybe we get Texas out down below on the left side before we do Reed or anything.
Operation commencing.
Excuse me.
We're fighting you guys. Then please do your bestest job, or I'll be really
That worked well.
bored.
This hunt has dragged on for too long.
Please, trust in me.
We do Exusier here instead.
Create a diversion.
A valiant struggle, but you won't get away.
All the best.
word I've not heard in a long, long time.
I'm prepared to fight.
No! Oh, I seen that right at the last minute. I should have activated Reed's thing. Okay, so I think I've got to protect all the spots down there. I need to worry less about the guy. I like using him right here to protect here to begin with.
Getting caught up in the fighting.
Anything outside the plan? I'll judge for myself. This hunt has dragged on for too long.
Let me create a diversion.
He's generating for me, which is good, but...
Your lives are mine to protect.
Nope. Reed should have been down below then. Okay, well...
The pain of burning, I can bear much more of. Just don't let anyone else disappear to the flames again.
Good. I suppose you've already got a plan.
Don't make this harder than it needs to be. Let's put an end to this show. Pronto.
Your lives are mine to protect.
Let's put an end to this show. Pronto.
Stay there.
War. A word I've not heard in a long, long time. If you're really incapable, branch and bone bear weeds, mounds and ruins bloom fields.
半歩だって引かない。
Got it. Let's begin. I'm prepared. Fear not the fire.
Let's put an end to this show. Pronto.
Nope, missed that one.
Solid positioning. Got it.
A valiant struggle, but you won't get away.
All the best.
I wasn't supposed.
Show me what you got then.
I wasn't supposed to sow the mountains when summer leaves a white dew. Seed the plains when equinox paints russet hue.
Got it.
You can go do something else.
Please give your orders, Professor. Please give your orders, Professor.
準備完了。光ある。
give you past that. Ready wished I am doubling. It's safe here!
Ew, that thing just transformed.
Doctor? Apple pie!
Oh, this is ridiculous.
If you're really drenched and bone bear weeds, mounds and ruins bloom fields.
Use your weapon.
My, is that insane? Look at all of them. Okay. All right, so that's bad.
Now I want to crush them that much harder.
So I can't use read skill? Oh, man. I'm gonna have to mess with this one a little bit. I need to avoid him.
I will burn through. Stay safe, everyone.
Okay.
Don't make this harder than it needs to be. A valiant struggle, but you won't get away.
Follow me! Please. Heaven will! Let's begin.
Awaiting orders. Cut them to pieces.
War. A word I've not heard in a long, long time.
Heaven will!
I wasn't supposed to act. Sow the mountains when summer leaves the white.
Shut up. All the best. Heaven will!
Solid positioning.
I'm prepared as embers burn. You needn't fear. It's safe here! Please give your order. Watch out for fires!
How did I lose one?
Roger. Heaven will! Don't be afraid. You heal that wound in no time.
Okay, we lost somebody.
If you're really, I'll plant you into the soil to grow anew.
Oh wow, it severely slows her.
You want my opinion?
Come on, release it. Give me 33. Here we go.
Motion is meaningless here.
Got it. You can't stop me.
I'm prepared. I am Dublin.
Okay, now this is problematic. Ooh.
You want my opinion?
Doctor, I can heal that wound
wound in no time.
Still mulling things over, Dr. Perfectionist? Conviction will throw you off base.
戦に祈りを光あれ
Awaiting order.
Doctor?
Let's put an end to this show. Pronto.
Yeah, we're done. There's no way I'm beating this. Nope. Damn! How do you beat that
Even
damn
a
thing?
well-crafted gun will jam
It's like when you
sometimes.
damage it until
Life
at that
is no
point,
different.
I think
So
you
don't
have to
worry
wait
about it.
until it does. Let's see. Okay, unable to move will evolve after a certain duration, or when HP evolves, periodically creates, deals a large amount to true damage of allies, greatly reduces physical and arts damage from units to the left, greatly reduces physical and arts damage taken from units to the right, takes greatly reduced physical and arts damage. Ooh, excuse me. Weird. Try it one more time. I may have to come back to this stage, which would suck, but
Reap not what's sown by malice.
Anything outside the plan? I'll judge for myself. A valiant struggle, but you won't get away.
I'm curious, what if we switch and put Exusier? What if we save those bombs for that other form? We plant them over here kind of thing.
A
Put Reed over here, just
Trust in me.
curiosity.
Arch unit charging.
And what purpose do you think your sacrifice will serve?
Solid positioning.
Let's begin.
And what purpose do you think your sacrifice will serve?
半歩だって引かない
Awaiting orders. Shut up.
Let's put her there.
A word I've not heard in a long, long time. Program initializing.
You can go do something else.
Second breaker there.
If you're really incapable, clear skies for tuning.
懺悔しなさい It's safe here
You want my opinion? Emotion is meaningless here.
Got it. Cut them to pieces.
I'll be careful Rock and roll
Still mulling things over, Dr. Perfectionist?
Roger Don't be upset and heal that wound and no 光あれ
I am Lappland.
Professor?
Got it. You can't stop me. Awaiting orders.
Professor? This may be a little hot
Oops. Shouldn't have done that. See, I see it's got the barriers.
I wasn't supposed to. I'll plant you into the soil to grow anew.
That's all right. That's all right. We're good without him. We're okay without him.
Don't be afraid. Come to your senses.
Yeah, we're done. Okay.
Bravo. Now I want to crush them that much harder.
All right. I think I'm going to come back to that one. We're going to see what I can do, try and figure that out. And then if I can beat it, I'll show you guys how I did it. I'll come back and I'll do like the auto battle kind of thing, and I'll let you guys see how I did it. Just out of curiosity, I think I'm gonna, or I might just do some practice runs and stuff on it. Either way, I'll beat it and figure it out. But I gotta call it quits for now. So I'll come back, show you guys that to end the video, and we'll finish off with the rest of the story bit as well. We'll do the narration. So with that being said, I'm gonna take a break, get ready to leave. All right, guys, so I am back from my vacation, and so obviously at the end of the last video, I said I was going to take time away. I didn't have enough time to finish up the boss, and I was struggling with it as it was. So I took the time throughout the week while I was on vacation and just played around with some strategy, and I was able to finally finish that up. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys my auto deploy of the boss fight and show you my basic strategy, which for me, I played around with some stuff after beating it on my main account, and I kind of adopted part of that strategy, as well as I looked at some other strategies from different creators on YouTube and stuff and how they were doing things. But the one thing that stuck out to me that I saw a couple of people do, including Kyostin V, was with lower end teams, they were putting some melee operators on like one side or both sides of the boss. So I took that strategy, worked with that, and kind of used some quicker deploy operators at the start, swapped one out later for Dagonbreaker and put her in, which helped me to kill the boss pretty quickly and efficiently. And I had a medic there to heal them. I had some coverage on both the main lanes. I had to elite 2 my Vigil because he was kind of taking the place for my main account where I have Mulesies. And it was pretty cool to put him there and to have him a bit stronger. He was able to last better. And also having an extra medic on that side as well helped. So let me go ahead and get into the game here, and I will show you OD-8 as my auto deploy. All right, so here we go. Let's go ahead and auto deploy this. I checked it to make sure it was working earlier, which is great, but let's go ahead and show you how I did the boss fight here.
What blocks
So I dropped Project Red here on the left side because she was just a quick deploy. Texas on the other side to start gaining the deployment points. Vigil's over on the left, Exusier on the right. They're both aimed upward to cover, but I have Dogpack out to help Vigil because otherwise they would get through very easily. And now Solopsis comes over there to help heal. We're going to end up with Shu over on the right side, and Shu will help to heal as well as defend there. Hibiscus over on the left there for heals. She helps to keep Vigil up and running there. We're going to put Reed the Flame Shadow down here below Texas, facing this way to help. And she's going to attack and help to cover this lane, but also with her skill ends up destroying everything in this surrounding area. And as you can see now, Red is pulled, and we put Dagonbreaker there. And now Fiola to aim upward. And as you can see, she just chips away at that boss like it's nothing. Now later, we'll pull Texas and we'll pull Reed. And for now, we've got Red covering these little guys coming from this lane.
Not one step backwards.
the mountains when summer
Boom.
leaves the white dew.
And now we pulled red and we got Hoshiguma covering there.
What purpose do you think?
Now the boss is already almost dead, so we gotta get some coverage. Here, Reed's skill is gonna activate, and that just kind of keeps that lane pretty well full. And now the boss is done. So now it's basically just these guys here, and a couple little ones that come through. Here's another one of these guys. Hoshiguma's gonna cover that pretty well. Texas is pulled. Red's just kinda, I'm throwing her wherever to help do some damage, even though she doesn't really do much. She's just kinda there to be a distraction. And now, it's just these three guys here. So we put Pookie out, and Pookie almost handles this, but she does get killed here pretty soon. Hoshiguma's gonna block this one. We end up with Red back here to cover any bleed through, and then we're gonna end up putting Texas behind him. Between them and Ifyola, we'll have this done. It ended up working fairly easily.
Let's begin.
Ever since getting Reed the Flame Shadow, she's just, her and Degenbreaker and Shu are just like, they're inexpensible. Like, I can't not have them on my team. And then adding Ifyola, Exusier, like, they're just amazing. They're amazing. I have them on both my games main teams, so. All right, so that is that. Now, we have OD-6, 7, 8 in the 2 story bits here. So, let's go ahead and do the stories. We got before and after for each 6, 7, and 8, and then the story. Now, hopefully, I can remember my voices. I did kind of take a look at how I did them, so hopefully I'll be able to get through it. So, how long has it been, dear sister? 6 months, a year, longer. Drudge, you attacked the Lord's men and stormed his manor. This is treason. Treason. You have to know, Picale. If it weren't for that rotting old man's obsession with protecting his infected, distressed assets, this wouldn't even be your place. Relax, girl. Check out these toys from an enthusiastic Colombian donor. The cunning Reproba slaps the device behind him. The TSW-2 Ultrasonic Impact Unit, a product of advanced technology. It's experimental, never used in the field before. The only downside is the size. It was real tough to hide in town. Took a while. Took me a while to get you out of the mansion, too. So tell me, my dearest little sister, what good are your sick moves now? What good is that iron will of yours? And check out my friends here, Sarkaz friends. They're not your run-of-the-mill brain-dead devils. They're from Columbia, too. They get the job done. You know what that means? It means they're here for progress. Progress you and the old man could never understand. Get your margins high enough and money's more powerful than you could possibly imagine. Whatever happened to the old man's worthless logic? Boss, we found this in a big house. Give it to me. Oh, an appointment letter from the Lord Emir of Baialir. Fine-grained papyrus, embossed signature, blocky Baialir writing, and this black seal. Humph. Where's the old man? He wasn't there. We searched every room and found plenty of townsfolk, but not the old man you're talking about. Father is dead. I am the Lord of Longspring now. You have disobeyed your lord, and in so doing disobeyed the Lord Emir, and for that your punishment is death. That's the plan you and the old man came up with. Ha 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 ha. Gah! This is getting stupid. You really think you can use the Lord Emir to outmaneuver me? Don't make me laugh. You're gonna execute me? The old man's proud Reproba guards are lying headless in an alley somewhere right now. Those tough guards are gone now, and who's left to stop me? You're a psychotic piece of shit! You grew up with them! They treated you like their own son! I didn't think you were this far gone. They shouldn't have gotten in my way, and neither should you. We're blood, so let me make it a little clearer for you, sis. I want to be sure you understand. Yes, you're a Lord of Sargon now, sure. But me, I'm a bum, abandoned by my family. And in a few years, when you meet an unfortunate end, I'll go to the court of Baialir. With my pedigree, plus the resources and wealth to prove my loyalty to the Lord Emir, do you think he might just hand Longspring back to me? No! Why don't I give you another scenario? Let's say you die in battle just a short while after taking charge. Then I hand over your corpse over to the Lord Emir, and then get to join the Wis'adel. Would that work out better for me? Drudge, you're a disgusting, horrific disaster of a person! You're getting excited, sis. Schwartz. Well, that's just hypothetical. It's not real. We're having a brother-sister talk here, because I know a much better place for you. See these things with the rocks on them? If you're so eager to protect the infected, why not join them? Drudge! Once you die from it, I'll find a nice cave to bury you in. Then you and the old man can watch me dig out the Originium buried under the mines and turn Long Spring into the mineral heart of Biolear. So what do you think? You sold out your family, and sold out our land. I curse you, Drudge! May you die a horrible death! Whatever makes you happy, sis. Curse away. Use that voice while you still got it. I guess we're done here. You, come here. What is it, boss? Bring the infected to the egghead. Right, I'm on it. What about this kid? Looks like he's on his way out. Bring him, dead or alive. This is for my sister. Turn her infected. You Sarkaz must know how to do it. Roger. But that isn't on our contract. There'll be an extra fee. Save it. You know there'll be plenty of money to go around once your work here is done and the mine is up and running. What a nice brother you have here. We're under attack! Get a shield up! Protect the boss! Shorts. What? What's happening? Boss, we've got company! I thought you took care of all the guardsmen! I saw! It's... Ah! Caster, get the monsters moving! Wait, I see it, it's... Hurry! Ah! My shoulder! My shoulder! Don't panic. Where's the enemy? I don't see them. Fall back. They've got crossbows. Get the cover. Cover Drudge. We can't let anything happen to him. I saw! It's a feline! Look out! Retreat! Retreat! You're with Rhodes Island. Can you move, Reproba? Thanks. Okay, it's working. This isn't over yet. Ha ha ha. The old man's toys can be useful at a time like this. You, take the monsters and finish them off. Roger. There's too many. I can't guarantee your safe escape. This will do. Where are my weapons? What for? It's my fault Drudge turned out like this. I can't face my late father. But I will carve out that traitor's heart and bury it in Long Spring if that's the last thing I do. Don't be hasty. There's too many of them. Getting yourself killed won't help the town survive. I've sent out the signal. They should be here in a moment. Boss, those mercenaries on Rhodes Island are assaulting us. What are you afraid of? With this mansion as tough as iron, I don't believe those mercenaries can cause us any harm. Tell those casters to finish that feline with the monsters. Others, go defend the entrance. Roger. Report. They've formed a defensive line in the courtyard wall. I suppose there are snipers and hulky mercenaries hiding behind. Same way as usual? A wall like this doesn't even bother me. Let's show them who's the real boss here. Now that's a big hole in the wall. I didn't expect the technology like this. Cover fire! Breaching! Roger. Stop them, now! Out of my way! Not over yet! Bastards! Where the hell are the snipers? Snipers? There's no more snipers, I'm afraid. Where did you... We've breached the outer wall. Nicely done, old man. Don't let your guard down. There's still many of them. What's with that thing they just pushed out? That's... Get down! The ruthless experimental weapon produced a powerful shockwave with a loud bang resounding throughout the sky. The debris of broken buildings splashed everywhere. Bless my ears! Are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. What about the others? All fine, but now I feel everywhere hurts. What is this weapon? How come they even have stuff like this? An experimental weapon of Volvort Koczynski. How unexpected. Now we're in trouble. It's about to fire again! Find cover! If it hits you, you'll be doomed for sure. Boss, they breached the out wall! Don't you see they're being suppressed? What are you worried about? Take care of my sister and that feline first, then we'll deal with the rest. I'm having the edge. Now it's just a matter of killing a few more. 5. These are your monsters, huh? Drudge, get out and face me! 6. Come on, you ugly and filthy monsters! I'm gonna smash you all into shreds! Calm down, Lady Piccole. Save your strength. There's too many of them. No. Lady Piccole! Miss Schwartz! Doctor! You... have to get out of here! Come, monster! What are you doing? When you're infected, every sunrise comes with the specter of death. Miro remembers these words by heart. It hurts so bad. My whole body aches. Where am I? Did I pass out? What is this? You sold out your family and sold out our land. I curse you, Judge. May you die a horrible death. Lady Piccole, she's on the ground. What happened? Oof. Ouch. My whole body aches. Is my oropathy flaring up? That's blood. Oh. So I'm about to die. Oh. So cold. Bring the infected to the egghead. Right, I'm on it. What about this kid? Looks like he's on his way out. Bring him, dead or alive. As for my sister, turn her infected. You sarcasm must know how to do it. What is he doing to the infected? I can't stand up. Who is that? In the shadow of the mansion's courtyard wall, a long crossbow takes aim. It's Miss Schwartz. Alone. I have to help her. It all comes down to this in the end. You... run! What are you doing? Leave me alone! Get out of here! Is that a refined originium ingot? Why do you... I haven't used arts in so long. Arts that make originium products explode? That's rare. With arts like these, aren't you a better fit for being a soldier? Why do you want to be a doctor? Okay, whatever. I just think it's kind of a waste, though. There's so much I still want to do. I don't want to die yet. Doctors should be saving lives. I have to save. The young infected charges out. Oh. My eyes! My eyes! Ah! Get up! Hold the line! What happened? What was that? The Origin mutants! They're out of control! How? Where's the ultrasonic emitter? The little torp fried it! You've completely lost control! What do we do? We've completely lost control. Gah! The feline's back! Get a shield up, protect the boss! Drudge! Your life is forfeit! Again with the nagging. I want their heads on a platter now! What is it this time? Target located, at my position. We're getting them out of there. Open fire! Okay, that was the before. Alright, after.
Clear! Okay, you're on guard duty. Alexander, see if any of the mercs on the ground are alive. On it. Tina, get your bandages, take a head count and patch up the wounded. Roger. No playing dead. Wait, please, lower your gun. I'll tell you anything. Cots, time up. Sure. Where's the doctor? Dr. Miaro, over here. The infected boy lays on the ground, blood oozing out of his many wounds with each cough. His exposed skin is covered with fine originium crystals, a direct result of facing down the originium explosion at such range. No shockwaves, no intense gust of crushing wind, but the originium curse has grown stronger from the stimulation and penetrated deeper into his body. Tina, bandages, hurry! Stay with me. Don't close your eyes, boy. Why? What happened? When you push yourself to use originium arts, it worsens your originium infection. Rhodes Island doesn't have countermeasure? Isn't that what you people do? Between the blood loss, burns, and acute oropathy symptoms, even if we were back on the land ship. I said stay with me, kid. You can do this! Remember how you wanted to travel the world. Picture that Columbia you were dreaming about. Stay with me! Doctor, he's gone. I'm sorry, I couldn't. No, it's not your fault. No, I had nothing to do with that. It wasn't me. I'm gonna twist your fucking head off. I just don't. You're done for, fucker. You're toasted. No, don't hurt me. It wasn't me. No! Alexander, stop. Calm down. Where did that guard captain go? The Lord's daughter. She chased someone trying to get away. Rangers went with her. Don't worry. Wait. The crystals on the doctor's skin are glowing? Huh? So soon? How? We've got bigger problems. Find an empty room here. What are you doing? No time to explain. Move! We need cloth, curtains, bedspreads, anything. Get the doctor into that little house. Hurry! What's happening? What's wrong with the doctor? Why? Miss Cohen, please calm down. Frank is dealing with the doctor's... Dealing? Dealing with what? You've never seen it before? I'll explain it to you later. Cover the doors and all the windows. No cracks. The chimney. Block it. In the vents. What are they doing? I'm not sure. What's wrong with the doctor's corpse? Don't look. Why? Don't look. We're good here. Doors and windows good. Ready. Hey, is that room lighting up? The window's glowing. Miss Cohen, get back. Don't watch. What on earth is going on? The doctor. Oh. In the dark of the house, glittering dust crumbles from the departed's wounds and spreads throughout the enclosed space. Before long, rays of light pierce the darkness. Brilliant, dazzling, prismatic light. Originium dust floats in the air among the lights, then slowly settles. An infected returns to the earth that birthed him. Poor doctor. He was young, he was talented, but he gave his life to save the people. He went home and he left the world behind. Our hearts ache because fate is ever unjust. But we need not grieve, because he is now free from the suffering of existence. We sing for him, as he is at last returned to the earth. His relatives, his loved ones, need not shed tears. Death is a mercy of our world, and we are the heirs to all things. May it all turn to dust. May it all return to the wild, to which we too will one day return. A roughly polished stone monument adorned with a few lines carved into its uneven surface stands in the shadow of a dead tree. Here lies our dear friend, Miaro. He was infected. He was a doctor. He was a good man. Are you okay? Hard to say. I heard the old lizard man say that the only important people get funerals in this country. Most ordinary folks just die when they die, and their families bury them in the wastes. No tombstones, no mourning. The people who live on the huge platforms, the moving cities, have to cremate the dead and bury the ashes under those major roads, since space is so precious in the city. Cemeteries are rare in an ordinary settlement where a disaster can come through and wipe out any memory of where the dead are left buried. There's basically no religion in Sargon. Most people here don't believe in an afterlife. They think the dead return to the earth and become part of it. Looking at it like that, it's a pretty honest and practical culture. I like it. Sumiaro's grave will be lost someday. Probably. But we held a funeral for him, and that was important. I can't really accept that. Why? After seeing what I saw, it's hard to accept how he went. We probably bear some responsibility, Alexander. If it weren't for Miaro, we would have had a much rougher time here. I've been thinking that, what if we'd moved a little faster? If we were tougher? If we really decided to do something for those sick people? I don't think it's a good idea to get caught up in thoughts like that. Miaro made his own choices. This isn't your fault. The big girl was trying to fulfill her duty as an aristocrat growing up in this culture, in this system. Her willingness to shelter the sick was definitely a noble act. Judging by how the Rhodes Islanders talk, Miaro was very, very sick. For him, death was something that hung over him every day. It's a miracle he lasted as long as he did in his condition. That's how they live, and there's not much we can do about it. But did we really do the right thing? We were so sure that if we reached out to help them, we would actually be helping them. And I have no idea why. We lived with those sick people, but we didn't know anything about the infected. We thought of that oropathy like a slightly infectious cancer, a deadly, incurable disease we already knew. But this isn't a disease, really. It's a disaster. We don't know anything about it, and we still tried to save them. You can't blame yourself for nothing, Cohen. It's pointless. I understand what you're feeling, but you can't deny what we did. Remember when I was up on that roof with nothing to do? I had all the time on my hands. I sat there, watching Miaro's clinic, watching the people who lived there. As a visitor from another world, I witnessed this one. I'm not a sharp person, but even I could see the many terrible, cruel things. One night, one of the townsfolk was carrying a package from another's house under the cover of darkness. It was a burlap-wrapped parcel, about as tall as a man. I watched them load the package onto a handcart and made their way along the edge of town to the rocky desert, disappearing behind the boulders on the south side. I saw it happen just like that several times, maybe twice in the past 3 weeks, and it must have been happening in other places too where I couldn't see it. You never mentioned this before. I didn't want to say anything. I didn't have a reason to. You're right. We're outsiders. We're not from this country. We're not even from this world. We can't understand the people here, their history, their culture, their lives, their feelings. We couldn't hope to know. And I have no right to point my finger at something I don't understand. There's a reason they do what they do. That's how it should be. But then, one night, my curiosity got the better of me. I followed the path to the boulder where they buried the sack. I saw the light shimmering beneath the sand. I saw the dust rising up from the rocks and dissipating into the air. That dust is so bright in the dark of the night. I knew, of course, what was in the sack. I could probably guess what that dust was. And naturally, we all know exactly what it is now. There was an old woman who sat by the door of the house where the sack came from. After that night, I never saw her again. Kot spent every day with the townsfolk. He must have known about it too. What was that excuse you made up before? Everyone looks like they've had chemical warfare training. They know to cover their noses and mouths. What a lame explanation. 'Cause I'd seen the reason. You just asked me if we really did this right thing.
The answer is simple. We help them. Because that's what our morals, our conscience told us to do. Aging, illness, and death are inevitable in this world and ours. Even if there wasn't this oropathy, the people wouldn't suffer any less. Even without the disease, they'd have war, taxation, and natural disasters crushing the poor. See, their lord in this town. What kind of society do they live in? Such feudalism would be far behind the times in the history of the earth we know. But it's the reality for them. By our standards, they're not living in a civilized world. I've seen enough shit over the years, Cohen. You know what I mean. This world sucks. But there's still something we can do about it. Don't turn your back on our good work. Morality and consciousness... Morality and conscience aren't wrong. You're right, Alexander. Forget I said anything. I'm just too tired. It's been too long since you got a good night's sleep. We're all tired. Someone's coming. Sorry. I don't know what to say. This is all on me. Because I was stupid and impulsive. The tall reproba holds a golden seal. She grips it tightly, infusing it with her own conviction. The seal melts and falls from her hand, spilling onto the roughly polished stone tablet. Originium arts. That was a medal of honor given to my father by the Lord Emir. He was one of the Emir's strongest warriors, and the town of Long Spring was a reward for his service. My father was strong, kind, just. He always was, ever since I was small. The Tola family was built on the blood and bones of miners. For years, my father grew wealthy, digging originium out of the ground. But with it came the spread of oropathy. It was just the miners at first, but it eventually spread through the town. When the originium closer to the surface was all mined out, my father closed the quarry. He wouldn't let anyone dig any deeper. He created the infected quarter and sent the men to protect the living there. He couldn't just sit on the pile of infected corpses and count his gold. He always hoped my brother Drudge and I could do better. I don't know what happened to Drudge while he was studying in Columbia. I just saw him turn more and more evil. It wasn't until my father kicked him out of the house that I realized the man was no longer my brother. But I disappointed father too. I'm not a worthy successor to his achievements or his legacy. I'm unworthy. I did nothing. I couldn't protect Long Spring. I couldn't protect my father's people. I couldn't even kill Drudge. I let him get away. Drudge's supporters. What kind of people are they? I don't know them well. All I know is that they are from a Colombian organization called Volvort Kuczynski. It wasn't the first time I dealt with those Colombians. They're wicked and greedy. All they care is how to dig more rocks from under the town. They don't give a thought of the people living in it. Sounds familiar. My father used to say that if I just became a warrior, I could protect my home with strength alone. A warrior can defeat another warrior, but violence isn't a solution to true evil. I never understood what he was referring to with true evil. Always thought Drudge had turned evil. But now I know Drudge was just a tiny little sliver of evil, and it was still enough to beat me. There are times when a fight to the death can't solve the problem. What are you going to do next? I don't know. Excuse me. Drudge ran off and his mercenaries fell apart. But he left behind those monsters. Long Spring isn't really habitable anymore. For the time being, at least, I have to protect my home. That's where the town's survivors are. How many people can your home house? There's a shelter in the basement for the manor. Of the manor. It can hold a lot of people, but we don't have enough food and water. Sorry, I shouldn't be complaining to you about these things. I actually came to thank you for protecting the people of Long Spring through all this. No thanks necessary. I have something I must do. Excuse me. She's a good person. It's hard to believe that evil shit is her brother. Here you are, Miss Cohen. Did I come at a bad time? Oh no, we were just about to leave. The infected gave this to me. It's Dr. Miyaro's estate, in the box. After talking it over with the infected, they decided it would be best to give them to you.
Open it.
Is that proper?
Of course. He was our friend. What's inside?
A map and a book. It's a Sargonian version of the Traveler's Guide to Urban Columbia. As for the map, it kind of looks old. Let's see here. Oh, this area should be Toronto. It's a Colombian border city. I've been there before.
And this stack your money?
Colombian gold certificates. Dr. Miaro actually had some savings. I remember he would say that he would leave here someday and go to a place called Columbia.
To become a real doctor.
Short as his time was, he still had his plan for life. A plan for his life. Hold on, there's a note here. Let me see. What does it say? Should I read it? Go ahead. If you're reading this note, thank you for helping me deal with this stuff. Give the money to someone. I definitely don't need it anymore. Don't lose the box. It was my mother's. Although I don't know who you are, my friend, I still hope your life turns out okay. Miaro. I don't know how to express myself here. What can I do or say in the face of his legacy? Dr. Miaro was a strong man. Dreams are a luxury for the infected. They're like precious, fragile gemstones. Even in Columbia, the infected are zoned to certain areas of the city. Most people live their whole lives struggling to get out of them. The vast majority of the time, contracting oropathy is a death sentence, if a deferred one. Reality forces you to give up on your dreams, your lifestyle, and ultimately life itself. It's hard for anyone to be hopeful about life in the face of cruel reality. What on earth was supporting him?
Someone like Miaro should not have lived like this. He shouldn't have died like this.
Wait, where are you going?
To find the big girl.
Why?
I want to talk to her. I have a plan.
That went by pretty quick for the story. All right, before and after for OD-7, let's do those next.
Wretched thing.
Boss, what are we gonna do?
I think we better fall back. Fall back. We haven't lost yet. We already wiped out the guardsmen. We just need to wait for the right time to counterattack. A couple Rhodes Island marks are no big deal. Where's my egghead? Where's anybody?
What's that smell? What happened to the guys we had watching him? Looks like you're in a tough spot, my friend. Let me guess. Even with my mighty Originium creations, you still failed. To be honest, I'm not the least bit surprised.
I don't have time for your sarcasm.
Well, knowing that I know of you, you're here to ask me for new toys. No wonder your father doesn't like you.
Enough bullshit.
Are you talking to me, sir? Because I think you forgot the magic word.
What?
You're asking for my help. Was that the proper attitude?
Are you screwing with me?
Do I look like I'm joking?
Oh, this old geezer needs a beating.
Ah! What is this? What is this? My head's gonna explode. It's...
You! What have you done?
You apes really have nothing of value beyond your brute strength. And you, sir, do you really think you can keep science locked up in here with this bunch of mentally deficient clods? Go and tell your grand old sponsor to settle down. What the hell are those? You can't tell. They're your men. And of course, they've become so much more now. Much more obedient. And soon, it'll be just like them.
Why can you control them?
You know no Originium arts. Only Originium arts can control them. You people are so blinkered. Have you ever thought about why Originium arts can control those infected creatures? Of course, you, with your tiny brain, can never figure it out. The mad scientist rolls up a sleeve. A swollen Originium lump is twitching under his arm, as if it were alive, having its own mind. As long as you become part of them, naturally you could communicate with them. We are having a good time together. You're such a hopeless lunatic. I'm a member of the House of Tula. I'm the successor to the elder bloodline of the Tula family. It's a death sentence to murder a noble on land that belongs to Lord Emir of Biolir. Lord Emir? Noble? Bloodline? You amuse me, Dr. Drudge. Mr. Drudge. But I'm afraid of this joke. But I'm tired of this joke. I do not hate the pig. I hate only the golden crown that hangs above. In my homeland, the cardinals were burned, kings were hanged, emperors beheaded, every vestige of the old order smashed to pieces to ensure none would ever again fear the so-called nobility. What Lord Emir? What bloodline? You are nothing to me. The stinking sack of meat that is your body is even less useful to than those of the Oropethi sufferers. What do you call them again? Oh yes, the infected. The infected have contributed to my own experiments, but what have you done? Your status has no value to me, and your lack of foresight is baffling. Useless trash. Such a vile, stupid, evil thing calls itself noble. Tell me, what part of you is noble? Anyway, you have nothing to worry about. I have no interest in your rotten worldview. I am a scientist. I pursue only objective truth. What do you want? Science treats all people equally. It won't change a bit because of your background. Nobles and commoners are the same. On the operating table, the scalpel cuts skin just as well. Your contribution is identical. Considering you specifically, once you donate your body to science, you will no doubt be slightly more noble than you are now. You should feel honored. You despicable traitor! 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 You raised your hand against your very own sister! You betrayed your flesh and blood! You colluded with foreign mercenaries to plunder your father's wealth! You betrayed the country that birthed and raised you. And you still have the gall to call me a traitor! You won't get away. You have no idea what the forces behind me are doing. They're the ones who came up with your research funding for the last 6 months. If you betray me now, you're betraying them too. The people of Volvard Kaczynski will hunt you down to the ends of the world. They will kill you. There's nowhere you can run. That I will handle. Don't you worry. Goodbye, imbecile.
Just got a shiver. Plus, I'm tired and having trouble. What's with the getup? I found it in the Lord's storehouse. Looks good.
Yeah, sure does. This is the craziest battle plan I've ever heard.
Very convincing.
How do you know an originium explosion will draw the monsters out of the ground?
All I can say is that it's thanks to the doctor. The monsters have been obeying the casters all this time, except that one night. I realized those wild monsters are actually chasing the scattered originium shards.
So you decided this is the best way to go?
It's kind of a gamble, actually.
Where did you go to get this originium engine?
Where did you get this originium engine? Well, some things happened, and I guess we ended up with a car.
It looks awfully familiar. Isn't it the one we lost?
No time to worry about that now.
What about the mine?
That mercenary we caught basically gave out everything. The factory your brother used to produce monsters is located deep inside the mine. I even think he probably hasn't given up yet.
That makes sense.
If we bait the monsters out here, Cohen will have a chance to bring her people down there and blow the fucking thing up. Just as simple as that.
Doesn't sound simple, though.
This plan seems to be full of the unexpected and far from seamless. But I like this kind of plan where battling is the only solution.
If even Rangers said so.
Alright, friends. Take your places. If all goes according to plan, firing up the Originium engine will get a whole bunch of monsters coming at us. And we're in for a tough fight. And thank you, Rhodes Islanders, for choosing to stay and help.
Don't worry about it. It's my job to clear out contaminated wildlife. Is that unpaid work? You're so annoying. Thank you. I don't know how to express my gratitude. Let's save the thanks for later. All right, if there are no further questions. Originium engine chugs out a steady sound with thick smoke rising up and flames lighting up the sky. Here they come. Too many? How many? Over 100? No, probably more. No, there are even more coming. We can only hope Cohen is doing okay. Okay, that's the before for 7. After. Away with you! This is endless! How many of these fucking things did they make? Liskarm, look out behind you! Grr. Watch out! Brinka! What are you doing? Give me a hand, Miss Lord! Oh, okay. You... run! Don't speak! My leg... You... just leave me! Cut the bullshit! Piggyback, quick! They're coming back! Now, get out of here! Over here! Mr. Ockfin, what are you doing here? How could I just wait around down there? I'm a Rhodes Island operator too! Damn straight! You really saved us. Get ready to blow the engine. 3, 2, 1! What's the situation? They've been pushed back for now, but they'll come for us again before long. There seems to be less of them. I'm all out of welcome mats. Ammo's gone too. What's the plan, Alexander? Get to the shelter. What? Get to the shelter. Take the Rhodes Island operators and get to the shelter. What about you? I'll cover you. Cover? And who's covering you? I don't need cover. Hey, get it together, Alexander. I'm all together. I'm tired of all the hiding and running. Running can't help you win the war. History's shown that. History's shown. But this isn't a war. It is to me. When they pull weapons on the infected and try to kill my friends, it's a war. I've been through plenty of wars in my time. If I can kill even one more fucking monster here, it'll give the townsfolk a better shot at survival. I'll make my stand here until I run out of ammo, until the very end. The battle's not over. How could I retreat? You're the one who says not to play the hero. I don't think I'm playing the hero, Tina. I'm just doing the right thing. No matter what happens, the show ends here today. Alexander! I'm staying too. But why? It was always going to turn out like this. We all knew it from the moment you decided to stay and fight. I'll stay behind and help the warrior hold them back. And if things go bad, I'll cover this retreat. Mr. Rangers. Alexander, take this. What's this? An Originium bomb I tried my hand at making. There's only 2 left. Thanks. Stay alive. No promises. You didn't tell her the truth. You're not going to run. You didn't have to go blowing this old man's scheme. You need someone to hold these monsters back. The aged ranger takes out a blade. This is the old lord's blade. I borrowed it. It's a fine blade. The old lord had good taste. Beautifully decorated steel and hand-laid turquoise handle. That's as nice as many can industrially. That's as nice as any modern industrially manufactured weapon. It's a lot safer to stand back in the back with a bow and arrow than fighting on the front line. The old Saver Ranger dances with his long curved blade. I'm so much older and slower than what I was. But the blade, she's as sharp as ever. I still don't know your name, warrior. Alexander Sineviev. You can call me Alexander. I should tell you my name too, but the sands buried my name the day we stained the valley red with blood, along with the past. It's fine. You decided to stay and fight. That's what matters, Rangers. They told me I died. They were wrong. I was reborn. No matter how many of those monsters there are, let them come. Dang, these are flying by quick now. All right, OD-8. Before. Oh, here's the cave. Ooh, excuse me. Ranger's map stops here. It's all up to us now. Who knew this cave would be so big? It's like the ground beneath the town is completely hollow. Are the explosives okay? We've got the strongest batch from the safe house here. I hope the Lord's plan works. I'm afraid it won't be that simple. Look there. I hope it's not what I think it is. Gah. That's a person? Whatever it is, it's going to die, and that's enough. I won't be surprised at whatever shit's showing up now. Keep moving. Don't get caught up in a fight with them. We don't have time to waste here. Understood. It's nice having him with a shield. Schwartz. Why would Long Spring have a facility like this underneath it? Going. Where are we? I knew it! Shit! I knew it! So this is where most of the lab ended up. Now that I think about it, we were too careless. We've lived in this town for so long and we had no idea at all. It's that psycho behind all this. What's that smell? What else could it be? That's the smell of death. Stay frosty and close. What are these? Cages? So many. All corpses, people and beasts together. And this is the work of Levi Klitschko, a man both mad and cruel beyond imagination. I never should have tried to take him alive. He should have a bullet in his head. Your typical madman wouldn't do something this awful. Wait! There's someone alive in that cage. Look who's here. It's that Drudge character. I'd recognize that fucker anywhere. Oh, it's you, the mercenaries. I'm so glad to see you. I know we've had our differences in the past, but let's set them aside for now. I have a feeling you're looking for that scientist, and I know where he is. We've got a common enemy, and the enemy of my enemy is my friend. So brazen, I'm sick to my stomach. That feline over there. I know you. Your skills are pretty easily recognizable. And one can hear a lot in the mercenary market in Colombia. You're a killer, aren't you? Rhodes Island hired you, meaning even they have quite some dirty work to do. Compared to others, you must know better how to weigh up the pros and cons. Let's have a talk, shall we? Shut up, or I can help you with that. Shame. I thought people like you would be more realistic. Open the cage. What? Don't worry about it. Just open the cage. Got it. Good call. We all know the score. Yeah, I sure do. Hold on. What are you doing? Hey, you crazy! You help me, please! Please! Please, stop! You could still talk. Guess I'm not done. And this one's for Dr. Miyaro. Damn! Ash went ham on his ass. He done. Okay, he's had enough. Phew. You went a little overboard there. What, you feel bad for him? Man, you almost killed him. Totally rearranged his face. Save your strength. We've still got work to do. You're right. What happened? Nothing. I'm just feeling a lot more relaxed. You know what? Me too. If he's locked up in here, then he must be part of Levi's plan. I'm not surprised. I don't see anyone here. Might be an ambush ahead. Keep cautious. Oh, there he is. Well, well, well. Look who it is. More visitors to my laboratory. It's been a while, my friends from Team Rainbow. A gigantic experimental area, a corner previously kept in the dark, is bathed in light, and at the same time, the visitors all realize why they didn't notice the air when they came in. The elderly scholar stands behind a thick glass wall and in front of a huge cultivator. Levi has a grotesque smile on his face, both chilling and unnatural. A moment later, the cultivator itself lights up, and reveals a spherical crystal wrapped in connective tissue floating, writhing, and twitching. You're just in time. No, you always come precisely the right time. Don't bother. It's bulletproof glass. I applaud your decisiveness, squeezing the trigger without hesitation. Don't even wait for an end to our little prologue here. But we have a show to put on. A great opening requires a great audience and a complete opening dialogue. Today is a day of praise for the great work of the Creator, and the Creator is none other than yours truly. Creator, that's quite a title you've given yourself. You're a fucking psycho. Psycho? Ha! The mediocre always use this word to describe ideas and concepts they cannot understand. Behold this world. Completely different chemistry, totally inverted laws of physics. The flower of science blooms in exploration, and doubt in the most fertile soil lies in the land of the unknown. And now I have succeeded. Do you see? Can you feel? The surface appearance is similar, but all the functions on radically different principles. But it all functions. This is the evolution of life. This is the iteration of existence. Originium is the truth of this world. You should accept that. Don't fear it. Welcome to the future. Don't you even have the slightest moral compunction over what you're doing? What does human life even mean to you? Human nature is weak. Good and evil are subjective definitions of weakness, and what we call guilt is but one of the myriad of cognitive signals produced by the brain. And the science I pursue is never swayed by such flimsy concepts. Don't delude yourself that even in this world you still bind your minds with these meaningless ideas. Even electronic information technology and nuclear energy were originally designed to help us kill each other more efficiently. Would you add a new layer of definition to science? Force everything to fit your fragile spiritual needs? Nonsense. But I forgive you. You don't have to understand. I'll allow you to go on, unknowing. Primitive thinking is a common form of ignorance. It's not your fault, and I forgive you. That's the end of my speech. And in addition to my forgiveness, I also offer you my thanks for waiting so patiently. Now it is time for your praise. Give your praise to this entirely new life form. Praise be. Praise be. Praise be! Oh. Blood splatters everywhere. Glossy inorganic compounds break through the cultivator. Writhing, deformed limbs support a massive, unwieldy spherical head at an uncanny angle, and sharp, reddish spines pierce straight through the scientist's skull. It presses, reforms, and fuses together. Well, he dead. No matter what, we absolutely can't let that thing make it to the surface. You stall it. I'll get the bomb ready. Ooh, all right. So then that is the boss fight. And on to after. Huge spherical creatures crumble and disintegrate into scattered, writhing masses of living organisms that refuse to die. It's still moving! Bomb deployed! Time to go! Looks like it's budding? What on earth is it? Whatever it is, it doesn't belong in this world. We have to evacuate. We need to get out before that bomb goes off. This way! I'm out of ammo. Rangers!
I'm still here. You don't look so good. I'm old. So old. Phew. What happened to your hand? I couldn't dodge, that's all. What do we do now? Should we go to the shelter? No news from the mine? None. I never thought we'd hold out this long, but we're almost to the end of the road. What are you doing? Making a shield. I always wanted to try, actually. What a trip down memory lane. Back to the glorious good old days. The young rangers all gathered at the edge of town, knowing the overwhelming odds stacked against them, knowing most would spill their blood in the wasteland after the war. They laughed and sang war songs as if they were facing down bugs to be easily squashed. War is cruel and merciless. Some backed down. Many more held the line. The fallen became legends. The survivors were tasked with remembering them. And the last one standing in that bloodbath after all that time started to feel the fear of death set in. Because he doesn't want the dead to be forgotten. Maybe that's why. It's been an honor to fight alongside you, Alexander. The honor's mine, Rangers. Don't be so gloomy. I haven't given up the fight. I'll smash a few to death. Wait, what's that? Arrow. Arrows fall like rain on the ground in front of the manor, piercing Originian skulls and throats with precision. The black downpour continues uninterrupted, like a storm sweeping across the land. The cavalry's here! Ha 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 ha! We're saved! This technique must be that young person. I picked up a Rhodes Island distress signal and figured it was a normal rescue mission. I didn't think I'd run into you. Old Ranger, you're back in business, huh? Ha! At my age, you're making fun. What about your sword, Ranger? I'm too old. I haven't been able to swing it for years. If it weren't for you, today would be the end of these old bones. You sell yourself short, old Ranger. Listen up, squad. The objective is the Lord's Manor. The enemy is an extremely dangerous form of Originium organism. Keep your location updated. Be careful. There's many of them. Try not to let your folks fight alone. Also be mindful of the ground. They're good at drilling. Understood. It's an honor to fight beside you, Scimitar of the Bloody Valley. So they showed up to save them at the last minute, and now all we have left is the story. Let's do it. Half a month later. So about 2 weeks. Thank you for all you've done. Cohen, Coates, Tina, Alexander. On behalf of the town of Longspring. Sorry, I'm not so good with this kind of formal language. Thanks to you, I survived the conflict with my brother, and my people were able to return to live on their land. Thank you. We were only doing what had to be done. We started this, so it's our responsibility to end it. If it weren't for my irredeemable brother, none of this would have happened. I would have liked to offer you a reward. But as you can see, our town has been destroyed. Anything we have left I want to use to rebuild Longspring. A cash reward is beyond my power to give you. But anything you may want from this home is yours to take. I think we'll have to tear it all down and build a new Longspring with the survivors. About that, Alexander? This helmet fits well. Can I keep it? Uh-huh. Really, the nail tips are so blindingly bright. I'd like to put one on my shield so I don't need batteries anymore. That's enough for us. We're satisfied. That's all. My weapons, my father's heirlooms. You can... No thanks. You need them more than we do. Thank you. Let's go. We should leave now. Mr. Kotz, you're finally done. Did you say goodbye to the Lord? Then it's time for us to go too. My team will cover your return to Rhodes Island. Thank you. Miss Cohen, your squad is coming with us, right? Right. We've been fighting too long. We need a place to rest and resupply. And most importantly, we probably need some identities. Identities we can go around the world with.
Around Terra. Sure. The car's ready. We're off. Medic! Human resources operator. They're using Medic's model for an HR operator. Your information has been registered with Rhodes Island. You may stay and resupply it at Rhodes Island field offices or safe houses across Terra. Although you are not officially employees of Rhodes Island, the mission network is open to you and you will be paid for contracts you complete. That's about it. Is there anything else you'd like to know? Just real quick, I have to ask, does Rhodes Island have any sci-fi literature? I'm sorry? Oh, that's right. He did say the thing earlier that was something about wanting to know what sci-fi was like in this world. So these are our new identities. At least I've got a shield I can use. Could be worse. Do we have a plan? Try to take a look at this world, which we know too little about. Is that what that said? Which we now know too little about. I'd like to have a detailed write-up myself, but this time, I'm sorry. It's all up to us. So where's our first destination? Somewhere called Siesta. Sounds like a pretty good city. Then let's get going. Until we make it back home, we're on the road. Huh? That's it. Cool. All right. All right, guys. So that is it for Arknights Operation Originium Dust. That is the rerun of the first Rainbow Six crossover. And being that this is a rerun, or being that this is a crossover, it's kind of being said heavily that there's probably no chance that it's going to go into the terminal, which kind of sucks because considering they have the rights enough to do this, you would think they'd at least be able to put it in the terminal for people to see. Maybe not so much with like the record restoration if they want to keep that limited, but under the circumstances, I feel like that it could or should still go into the terminal, just like any other rerun of a side story or intermezzi or anything like that. But that's besides the point. As far as the story goes, that was really good. It was interesting to see these people fall into Terra and in a way kind of immediately adapt, but also continue to use their moral compass and like they're immediately jumping in and defending the townsfolk and stuff like that, where they didn't have to. They could have easily backed off and been like, whoa, this is not something we should be involved in. Nope, they jumped right in and they saved people and they fought for people and met a lot of cool people along the way. And now, as a result, they're officially part of Rhodes Island in a way. Well, like she said, not official employees, but they're able to do the contract work for them and stuff. So it's kind of neat to see that. And I mean, there's a couple loose threads, like in the end with Drudge, like, okay, Ash beat him up, but they left him there. Nobody knows what happened to him at the end. And then, of course, like with them themselves being trapped here, there's bound to be some sort of way to reopen the portal home, so to speak. So that's kind of a loose thread. And obviously with the second Rainbow Six crossover, there was no way to bring anybody back there because the others, well, now they're here as well. There's been no final research or anything to actually open a portal. So we don't know what's going to happen there. But maybe in the future we'll see another story bit or something fun in some way. And maybe it might not necessarily be through Arknights. Maybe it'll be through Rainbow Six somehow. There'll be a way that they explain how they come back home. So we may have to look out for something like that in the future. But overall, a fun story. Both of the Rainbow Six events were fun to play. And this boss fight, even though it took me pretty much technically casually playing here and there throughout a week to get strategies down pat and figure it all out, it worked out in the end. And I was able to beat it. And I feel accomplished after that. So that was a lot of fun. Now, that's it for this one. As always, I appreciate each and every one of you for taking the time to hang out with me on the channel, to watch my videos, and to enjoy my Arknights content. Please make sure to like the video and subscribe if you're new. That's going to help me grow and continue to bring you more cool stuff like this. And with that being said, that is it for now. So I will be back soon with more Arknights stuff on the way. Keep posted, and I will see you guys next time.